Their loyalty was mine after I gained financial freedom. The story begins as a boy drives his flashy Ferrari and then comes to a stop. People casually walk by, each minding their own business. The boy gets out of his car as a lady takes pictures of him and exclaims, "Shen Yuan!" Her friend says, the campus's top rich kid just got another supercar. Suddenly, a sexy lady with a huge future steps out of the car, assisted by Shen Yuan. A boy with yellow hair comments, as soon as he stepped onto campus, he managed to pick up the ultimate senior from the sophomore flight attendant class. Shen Yuan, that damn guy? A boy with glasses blushes and says, when a rich second-generation kid is handsome, he naturally gets dating priority. His buff friend adds, but their preferential treatment is almost monopolized now. I hear loads of freshman goddesses are into him. +1. As Shen Yuan and his girl walk slowly, a jealous girl with a large chest says, Joe Wanting's figure isn't as good as mine, right? I hesitated just a little and ended up too late. So annoying. Do you think I still have a chance? Her friend replies, chances are earned by yourself. Don't lose to that Joe. Suddenly, Shen Yuan looks back at them as if he heard their conversation from 500 meters away. A few moments later at the mall, Shen Yuan says to himself, unfortunately, my once extravagant, envy-inducing, high-class lifestyle came to a halt in junior year. Because of that disaster, not only did our family's 3 travel agencies go bankrupt, but we also ended up with $1 million in external debt. A few moments later in the dorm, Shen Yuan says, Lao Zhang, want to hit the internet cafe for some gaming? Lao Zhang responds, Shen Yuan, it seems we're not that well acquainted. His other friend scoffs, do you really think you're still the rich kid from before, able to call on us whenever you please? A few moments later on the rooftop, Shen Yuan says to himself, all those former playboys have drifted away, avoiding me at all costs. Nothing can be done. Now that my parents and little sister are crammed into a rental, I, who used to be out every night booking hotels, had no choice but to move back into the school dorm. With a life like this, not to mention my past wild abandon, whether I can ever live well remains uncertain. Until what comes next. As Shen Yuan's current girlfriend, Joe Wanting, silently texts in a corner outside, she then says, Shen Yuan, that's it. Don't contact me anymore. I hope you meet a girl who's more sensible. Shen Yuan, shocked, starts sweating. He says, Ting, 3 years of love just falling apart like that. Are you really so heartless? Joe Wanting replies, you talk like some love-pure warrior. Don't you know how much we had in our hearts? And stop calling me Ting already. It sounds so tacky. From now on, if we ever run into each other, it's best if we never see each other again. She walks toward a car and opens the door. Shen Yuan sighs. Joe Wanting says, I'm leaving now. A friend is here to pick me up. Shen Yuan holds the car door and says, wait a minute. Joe Wanting glares at him. You, is there something else? Shen Yuan hesitates before saying, those designer bags I bought for you back then, I'm thinking you won't ever use them. So how about giving them back to me? Joe Wanting starts sweating and raises her voice. Shen Yuan, have some pride. I spent 3 years with you, and you only got me a few crappy bags, and now you want to take them back after breaking up? Shen Yuan shrugs. If it comes to that, I don't even want the money. Might as well relive the daydream one last time. Joe Wanting shouts, screw you! Suddenly, an old man, June, opens the window and says, Ting, get in the car. There's no need to be angry. Hey, little bro, where are you off to? Need a ride? Shen Yuan thinks to himself, I call her Ting, and it sounds tacky. But when you say Ting, it doesn't sound tacky, huh? So funny. Shen Yuan shakes his head. No need, my place is close by. Old man June chuckles. Ting and I aren't in a rush, but right now, I'm worried you might be too hurt, afraid you might spiral. Little bro, I think I should at least safely see you home. Shen Yuan grins in frustration and mutters to himself, to hit where it hurts after a killing? If you don't fight back, you really think I'm a dumbass. He then looks closely at old man June and says, Big brother, you're a good man. I appreciate your concern. But my home is indeed very close, just a few steps away. Shen Yuan turns to old man June and says, Wan Ting is a good girl. Please take good care of her from now on. He opens the car door. Joe Wanting looks at Shen Yuan silently, then gets into the car. Old man June nods and says, don't worry, leave Ting to me. Shen Yuan smirks. We men must always give women the best. Big bro, note down many of Joe Wanting's quirks. First, she prefers using Okamoto 001. Second, she doesn't like stockings of too high quality because they're inconvenient. And also, Nurse uniforms and police outfits are what she loves to wear when Old Man June suddenly starts sweating in anger. See, silk is just for a taste, that's all. Suddenly he slams the gas and speeds off. Shen Yuan grins. Hey big bro, I was just getting to the point. Zhou wanting, perhaps your choice was the right one? He looks at the sky and says, forget it, it's none of my business anymore. May your choice forge the serene life you desire. A system notification appears, that's right. Everyone should strive to live out their own perfect life. Perfect life system. Starting to load. Host, Shen Yuan age, 21 height, 182 centimeters weight, 72 kilograms wealth, 87 yuan health, 72 stamina, 75 skills. None. He sweats in confusion and mutters to himself, what? The host is me? I'm not risking my life. Why am I having hallucinations? A system notification chimes in. Perfect life system load. A perfect life requires not only money as its foundation, but also the admiration of the opposite sex. Timed task activated, spend on an appropriate partner with favorability over 60, and win her favor. Task reward, the expenses on the partner will be triple refunded to the host. If her favorability increases by 3 points during this spending, an additional double refund applies. Note, spending can only be done with savings or cash. Shen Yuan, still confused, mumbles to himself, am I really using system hacks now? This is bullshit. Hallucinations. Vanish. Shen Yuan. Suddenly, a voice calls out, Shen Yuan! A woman approaches. A male student should carry himself like a proper male student. It's just a breakup, don't overdo it. It was Counselor Li Xiao. She walks toward Shen Yuan and says, I saw it all just now, and in moments like this, using your guy's words fits best. Just say bye-bye. The next one will be even better, right? Shen Yuan looks at her and says, oh. Then he thinks to himself, what? Look at the number above Teacher Li's head, 65 hearts? A system notification confirms Li Xiao's favorability toward the host is 65. Shen Yuan continues thinking, the numbers and annotations above Teacher Li's head. In other words, the perfect life system we just saw isn't a hallucination. It truly exists. Counselor Li Xiao gives him a gentle smile. Shen Yuan, cheer up, okay? Shen Yuan nods. I'm fine, Teacher Li. But in his mind, he's thinking, so that means I really am using hacks now. Counselor Li Xiao suddenly says, by the way, how's that scholarship matter I mentioned last time? Get your documents in soon. This is one of the few ways I can help you. Shen Yuan shrugs. A few thousand yuan is nothing compared to my family's debts. Might as well give the scholarship to someone who really needs it. Counselor Li Xiao sighs. If you put it that way, I won't try to persuade you further. If you ever have any troubles, come see me anytime, even with love problems. I'll head back now. If you need anything, just let me know. Shen Yuan mutters to himself, Teacher Li, you fit the system's time task perfectly. Do these tasks really give triple cashback? A system notification confirms time task activated. Spend on an appropriate partner with favorability over 61 and win her affection. Task reward, the expenses on the partner will be triple refunded to the host. If her favorability increases by 3 points during the spending, an additional double refund applies. Note, spending can only be done with savings or cash. Shen Yuan smirks. Maybe I should take this chance to verify? Suddenly, he gently grabs Counselor Li Xiao's soft, delicate wrist. Teacher Li, thank you for caring so much about me. Wait a minute, I'll go get you a cup of milk tea. Counselor Li Xiao waves her hand dismissively. No need to be so formal, Shen Yuan. A few moments later, Shen Yuan returns with milk tea and hands it to Counselor Li Xiao. Teacher Li, here you go. Counselor Li Xiao smiles. Thanks, thank you so much. Shen Yuan checks his balance and thinks to himself, originally, my balance was 87 yuan. After spending 6 yuan on milk tea, it dropped to 81 yuan. Now, I received an 18 yuan deposit, and the balance is 99% yuan. The triple cashback is real. He glances at his phone screen. China Construction Bank, your card ending in 0098 received 18 yuan at 1640 on May 10th. Current balance, 99% yuan. Shen Yuan smirks to himself. As long as Teacher Li's favorability toward me stays above 60, I can keep spending on her and continuously get system cashback. This could eventually clear the family debt. If managed well, our family will become even richer than before. I, Shen Yuan, will return to how I was, or rather surpass my former self. But then reality kicks in. But right now my capital is only 99 yuan, that's too little. The immediate priority is to gather enough capital and find the right girls to spend on. A few moments later, the gold bar credit only reached 8,000 yuan. Jiebei offered 20,000 yuan. The business loan came through for 21,585 yuan. And with the original 99 yuan, my total funds now amount to 49,684 yuan. Shen Yuan rubs his chin. In Teacher Li's eyes, I'm just a poor student from a bankrupt family. To get her to accept my expensive gifts, I need to be strategic. 1 hour later, Shen Yuan throws the box of a bag into a bin and thinks to himself, this bag is valued at 39,800 yuan. It's this year's spring model. I must say, it's a high-quality counterfeit. Only Teacher Li would accept it. He walks up to Counselor Li Xiao's office door and knocks. I wonder if Teacher Li even has a boyfriend. The door opens, and Counselor Li Xiao looks at him in confusion. Shen Yuan, why is that you? Shen Yuan grins. Teacher Li, sorry to disturb you. Are you cooking? Counselor Li Xiao raises an eyebrow. Do you need something? Shen Yuan said, Teacher Li, you've taken care of me so much during these 3 years of college. I always thought it was just something expected, but today I finally realize how precious and heartwarming that help was. This is just a token of a student's gratitude. Please, you must accept it. Counselor Li Xiao, shocked, thought to herself, this bag, no matter how you look at it, it doesn't seem expensive. She quickly shook her head and said, no way, no way. I'm your teacher. It's my duty, not some special favor. I treat all my students equally. There's no need for extra treatment. Shen Yuan smiled and said, this bag is a counterfeit, worth only about 200 yuan. Teacher Li, you know my situation. How can I afford to squander money now? Since you've helped me so much, shouldn't I do something to thank you? Would I not still be a person if I didn't? Even though this bag isn't worth much, it's still a token of a student's gratitude. If you don't mind, please accept it. Counselor Li Xiao hesitated, thinking, now that we're at this point, if I refuse, it would seem like I'm looking down on him. And I can't afford to hurt his pride right now. So she sighed and said, I'll keep it for now. Maybe on a holiday or your birthday, I'll give you a return gift. Suddenly, smoke billowed out of the kitchen. She ran back in panic. Oh no, my stir-fried pork is burning. It's burning up. Looking back at Shen Yuan, she quickly said, Shen Yuan, you haven't eaten yet, have you? Stay and have a meal. Shen Yuan thought to himself, as long as Teacher Li doesn't have a boyfriend, I'm fine with it. After all, getting close might trigger even more system cashback. A system notification chimed in. China Construction Bank, your card ending in 0098, received 119,400 yuan at 1845 on May 10th. Current balance, 120,200 yuan. Shen Yuan's eyes lit up. It's been credited. For a 39,800 yuan bag, triple cashback equals 119,400 yuan. After deducting costs, that's a pure profit of 80,000 yuan. I've spent 80,000 before, but earning that much is a first. And it's all purely earned by myself. This is youth. This is victory. Awesome. Counselor Li Xiao suddenly interrupted his thoughts. Sit down and eat, Shen Yuan. What are you spacing out for? Shen Yuan blinked and asked, what? Is it just the two of us eating? Teacher Li, where's your boyfriend? Counselor Li Xiao looked at him in confusion. What are you talking about? I don't have a boyfriend. She struggled to take off her apron. Shen Yuan chuckled. Eh? Why can't you undo it? Teacher Li, you're so beautiful, I'll help you out. Counselor Li Xiao immediately waved her hands. No, no need. But Shen Yuan suddenly stepped behind her and said, it's fine, it'll be sorted soon. Just then, the door swung open. A sharp voice rang out. What are you two doing? Shen Yuan turned to see a young woman standing in the doorway. He coughed awkwardly. Nothing, what are you up to? Counselor Li Xiao quickly walked over and introduced her. This is my sister, Li Meng. Shen Yuan wiped the sweat off his forehead. Hello. Li Meng frowned. I'm not doing well. Shen Yuan quickly walked toward the door. Teacher Li, I already ate before coming, so I'm heading back to school. See you there, Counselor Li Xiao muttered to herself. Ate? But he clearly seemed about to sit down and eat just now. Li Meng huffed. Sis, he's got lecherous intentions. Counselor Li Xiao frowned. He's just my student. Li Meng scoffed. Brazenly shameless, Counselor Li Xiao sighed. A student actually thinking of hitting on his teacher. Stop talking nonsense, hurry up and eat now. A few moments later, outside. Shen Yuan shook his head and muttered to himself. Who should I spend on next, he pondered. On one hand, Teacher Li and I only have a teacher-student relationship. On the other hand, she isn't some gold-digging type like Joe wanting. Suddenly, he bumped into someone. Shen Yuan looked up. Lao Huang, what's gotten into you? Huang Haibao's hands trembled. Brother Yuan, my goddess Fang Minhui went to see a movie with that damn Li Zhanpeng. It was Shen Yuan's roommate, Huang Haibao. Shen Yuan thought to himself, Fang Minhui, the class beauty from International Trade Class 2 of Level 20. Lao Huang's unrequited crush. These two have never even exchanged a word. Shen Yuan raised an eyebrow. That's it? Huang Haibao clenched his fists. Brother Yuan, what's with that expression? You're not making fun of me, are you? Shen Yuan sighed. Stop fooling around. Look, who's that? Huang Haibao's eyes sparkled as he spotted two beautiful, curvy women sipping bubble tea nearby. He whispered urgently, she just went to see a movie with Li Zhanpeng. They definitely didn't go to a hotel. I'm so happy I still have a chance, right? Shen Yuan smirked to himself. When you love a girl so much that you grovel, Lao Huang, how do you expect any good results? Suddenly Shen Yuan was shocked and confused as he said to himself, As he saw a heart with 72 points on her, and he said to himself, damn, she even has stats, and they're even higher than Teacher Li's. Chen Ling said, Minhui, do you know that Shen Yuan got dumped by his girlfriend? Fang Minhui said, Chen Ling said Shen Yuan, that guy. Puff Pete, Fang Minhui said to herself, Shen Yuan. While she looks back at Shen Yuan, Chen Ling said, during the opening military training, I shouldn't have encouraged you to approach him or even given him drinks. Rich kids can be arrogant. It's one thing to be cocky when you're loaded, but if your family's bankrupt and you still act like that, anyone would want to break up with you. Fang Minhui said sigh. Chen Ling said, it's a good thing you two weren't together, or else 3 years of youth would have been wasted. Shen Yuan looks back at her and said to himself, I finally met someone who liked me and could generate benefits, so why is her favorability value dropping so fast? As her heart rating said, 72, 71, 70, 69, as Shen Yuan said to himself, no, I can't just sit and wait to be finished like this. Shen Yuan said to Huang Haibao, Lao Huang, let me ask you, if Fang Minhui and I get together, would you mind? Huang Haibao said, the key is, you can't win over the class beauty at all. Do you really think you're still that rich kid from the 4S days? But if I'm honest, I wouldn't mind, as long as she isn't with Li Zhanpeng. I wouldn't care which guy she's with, as long as it's not him. Shen Yuan suddenly said, good brother, I've been waiting for you to say that. I'm going for it. As he runs towards Fang Minhui, Huang Haibao said in shock, Brother Yuan, are you serious? Shen Yuan suddenly said to Fang Minhui, classmate Minhui, as Chen Ling frustrated swallows a huge baba pearl and said, Shen Yuan, what do you need from me? As she boxed out Fang Minhui from him, Shen Yuan sweats and said, I want to ask if you're free tomorrow. I've reserved a spot at the Xingji Club banquet. Can you come with me? Fang Minhui said Shen Yuan wants me to have dinner with him. Chen Ling said, Xing? That Japanese restaurant where the average spend starts at 1,000? Do you even have money? Shen Yuan scratches his head and said, after dinner, come with me for a stroll. I want you to help pick out a birthday gift for my sister. If you can, let me know by noon tomorrow. Shen Yuan said, I'm off now. Let's talk tomorrow. Fang Minhui said to Chen Ling, but I just saw a movie with Li Zhanpeng, and now I'm about to have dinner with Shen Yuan. Is that okay? Chen Ling's jaw drops as she was shocked and said, what's wrong with that? That's top-notch Japanese cuisine. Shen Yuan might be a bit cocky, but at least he's handsome. Li Zhanpeng only has his family's money. If Shen Yuan's family showed even a little more success, he'd easily leave Li Zhanpeng in the dust. If you're not going, then don't bother. After all, it's just dinner and a little shopping, nothing serious, hee. I'll reply to your message later. Fang Minhui said so. Okay, then. The next day, early evening, Shen Yuan and Fang Minhui are together for dinner. A few moments later, the waitress served their meal and said, good evening, Mr. Shen. This is the double-set meal you ordered. Enjoy your meal. Fang Minhui sat down and said, Shen Yuan, I heard your family's having financial difficulties now. There's no need to waste money like this. Shen Yuan said, it's fine. The Japanese food at this place is unbeatable in taste. It's totally worth it. As Shen Yuan looks at the sexy figure of Fang Minhui from behind, and he said to himself, ooh, Minhui. Look at your posture. I haven't played poker in 2 months, so I need to stay calm. Stay calm, Fang Minhui said. So why did you suddenly invite me to dinner, Shen Yuan? Is it really just to help you pick out a gift for your sister? Shen Yuan said, I've always wanted to have dinner with you. I just hadn't found the right moment until now. As Fang Minhui's heart rating drops from 69, 68, 67, 66, Fang Minhui said in disappointment. Oh, Shen Yuan said to himself, could it be that she isn't satisfied with that answer and her favorability is dropping again? Shen Yuan clears his throat and said, ahem, you used to buy me drinks during military training and stayed up chatting on WeChat at night. I always took that into account. Fang Minhui, shocked, said, you still remember? As her heart rating went up to 67. To 69, Shen Yuan scratches his head and said, how could I ever forget? And he said to himself, stay calm. You have to stay calm. And his heart rating went to 70. 40 minutes later, the waitress said, sir, your total spending this time is 2,920 yuan. As a member of our store, the discounted amount is 2,774 yuan. Shen Yuan scans his phone and said, okay, thank you. A few moments outside, Fang Minhui said to herself, my monthly allowance is only 3,000. This meal almost costs my entire month's living expenses. As heart rating went up to 73, and she said to herself, meanwhile, Li Zhanpeng went to see a movie and, all high and mighty, said he'd just scrape by in the school cafeteria this time and dine out later. Even though his family's rich, he's such a miser. Just then, something caught his attention. His eyes widened in shock. Shen Yuan looked at his phone and saw a message. China Construction Bank, your card ending in 0098. Received 322 yuan at 1930 on May 11th. Current balance 125,778 yuan. China Construction Bank, your card ending in 0098. Received 5,578 yuan at 1930 on May 11th. Current balance 131,356 yuan. A system notification popped up. Time task. Spend on an opposite sex partner with a favorability above 60 and win her favor. Triple cashback will be given to the host. For every 3-point increase in her favorability, the cashback is doubled additionally. Shen Yuan glanced at Fang Minhui and thought, it was 72 at first sight. Now it's 76, so that's why. This feeling of earning 10,000 from one meal is insanely awesome. Fang Minhui, holding Shen Yuan's hand, thought to herself, the more I look at him, the more appealing he becomes. Maybe that's the power of money. She smiled and said, let's go, Shen Yuan. We still need to go to Guojin to pick out a gift for your sister. A few moments later, at Guojin Center, old man Jun nudged Zhou Wanning. Hey, Wanning, why is that guy here? Zhou Wanning turned her head and froze. Shen Yuan? She clenched her fists, thinking, how is he here? He just broke up with me yesterday, and now he's already out shopping with a new partner? Old man Jun scoffed. What a piece of crap. That useless guy. How dare he come to spend money in a place like this? He sneered internally. I'm just a hard-working guy. I had to buy a bunch of bags just to sweet-talk Joe wanting into being with me. And this kid, despite being so deep in debt, still manages to have a girl with him? Damn. Shen Yuan, ignoring them, said to Fang Minhui, Minhui, let's check out some other stores first. Fang Minhui nodded. But old man Jun called out, Shen Yuan, since you're already at the door, why not come in and browse? It's just looking around, it won't cost you a thing. Zhou Wanning suddenly snapped, Shen Yuan. Shen Yuan raised an eyebrow. Who is she? What a coincidence. I came shopping to pick a gift for my sister. Old man Jun scoffed. Pfft, you should be buying gifts at a toy wholesale market, not here. Can you even afford it? Zhou Wanning suddenly stepped in front of Fang Minhui and said, Miss, although I don't know you, I kindly advise you not to be fooled by this kind of guy. Shen Yuan stepped between them. Mind your own business. And what do you mean by fooled? Who have I deceived? Did I deceive you? Old man Jun shook his head. Shen Yuan, you shouldn't talk to Wanting like that. A man should have grace. And besides, Wanting is your ex. We all know your family situation, bankrupt and in debt. There's no need to pretend to be rich. No one's laughing at you. Shen Yuan clenched his fists. I'm really disgusted by these two. They're a match made in hell. A system notification appeared. Time task. A perfect life should not be underestimated by others spend on an opposite sex partner with a favorability above 60. Causing bystanders' negative emotions to rise. Task reward. For every additional 5 points of negative emotion caused by the host's expenses on the opposite sex will be doubled in refund. Note, this task can be stacked with the opposite sex cashback. Looking at the screen, Shen Yuan saw old man Jun's heart rating, -30 Zhou Wanting's heart rating, -35. The two acted as if they were deeply in love, with Zhou Wanting pressing her ample chest against old man Jun's flabby arm. Shen Yuan smirked. I initially just wanted to save your face so you wouldn't embarrass yourselves in public. But you two just had to stir things up. Now that the system has issued a task, there's even less reason not to act. Without hesitation, Shen Yuan grabbed Fang Minhui's soft, delicate hand. All right then, let's go in and browse. At a distance, a shop cashier whispered to her coworker, Shen Yuan is still considered an old customer. You go greet him. Her friend scoffed. I'm not going. What's there to serve for a bankrupt rich kid? Last time, that fake socialite had me running around, trying on clothes without buying anything. It's your turn. The first cashier glared. I said you go, so you have to go. Meanwhile, Joe Wanting picked up a bag and cooed, Brother June, I've got my eye on this one. Go ahead and settle the bill, the saleslady put on a fake smile. All right then, Miss Joe, please wait a moment. Her coworker muttered under her breath, annoyed. The quality customers who actually make purchases are always yours. The losers who just waste time are mine. Tisk. Still, she forced a smile. Miss Joe, you have excellent taste. It matches your aura perfectly. Unlike some customers, who have no sense of aesthetics at all, the other saleslady remarked with a smirk. She opened a box and presented it. Miss Joe, these accessories go perfectly with the bag you just chose. Would you like to try them on? The look is quite good, though it does add a bit to the price. In total, they come to 100,000 yuan. Meanwhile, across the store, Shen Yuan said to Fang Minhui, Minhui, you don't need to save money for me. Pointing at a cheap handbag, she said, I think this handbag is pretty good. And that bag has a youthful style. Your sister should like it. The saleslady, looking bored as she examined her nails, glanced at them and said, but together, these two cost over 50,000 yuan. That's really expensive. Old man Jun, sweating, thought to himself, 100,000 yuan? You spendthrifts. I thought a 20,000 yuan bag would suffice today. Damn, so you want a full set costing 100,000 yuan, right? Joe Wanting suddenly pressed her ample chest against old man Jun and whispered, use your card. Brother Jun. Shen Yuan's watching. Show off your boyfriend skills in front of him. Old man Jun clenched his jaw. 100,000 yuan is supposed to be boyfriend power? My card doesn't even have that much money. Before he could react, Shen Yuan spoke up. Miss, I'll take both bags. And also I want the accessories that the other miss recommended over there. Joe Wanting and old man Jun froze, their expressions shifting to pure shock and confusion. Fang Minhui covered her mouth, equally stunned. The saleslady gawked. Whoa, what? Accessories too? I thought he was broke. Regaining her composure, she grabbed a calculator. Mr. Shen, the two bags plus the accessories come to a total of 131,000 yuan. Shen Yuan smirked. Interesting. Right after the dinner cashback, I just happened to have that much money. He pulled out his card and handed it over. Here, swipe my card. The saleslady hesitated, sweat forming on her forehead. All right, I'll get them for you right away, she said, her voice trembling. Internally, she screamed, I thought it would be a waste of effort, but not only did he order 2 bags, he also added a set of accessories. The entire order is over 131,000 yuan. Who would have thought Mr. Shen has become even more generous and extravagant than before? Suddenly, Joe Wanting shrieked, Shen Yuan, didn't your family go bankrupt? Where did you get all this money? Old man Jun narrowed his eyes. Could it be that you took out a loan? The saleslady's hands trembled slightly as she used the payment terminal. Shen Yuan remained unfazed. Say whatever you like, he replied coolly. Then, with a smirk, he added, you don't seem short on cash either. Why not buy another bag for Joe Wanting? It's just over 20,000 yuan. In the grand scheme, it's just pocket change for you. Besides grace, a man should be magnanimous. Your A8 is worth at least 600 to 700,000 yuan. Surely you won't mind a few tens of thousands, right? Joe Wanting turned to old man Jun and urged, Brother Jun, show your strength, don't let him. Old man Jun's face twitched. I bought my A8 on loan. I can't let Ting know about this, it's so annoying. That kid really got under my skin. He quickly pulled out his phone. Wait a moment, I need to take a call. Joe Wanting's expression darkened. Hu Jun, what are you? Old man Jun walked away, pretending to be busy. Who told you to decide? Didn't I say I can't act on a $1 million+ project without me? Joe Wanting turned back to Shen Yuan with an enraged expression. Shen Yuan, take care of yourself. Shen Yuan smirked. Ha! Negative emotions are so easy to hit the quota? Old man Jun's heart rating, -35. Joe Wanting's heart rating, -45. Forget it, Shen Yuan thought. I'm too tired to argue with him further. As long as the task is completed, that's enough. Turning to Fang Minhui, he suddenly said, Minhui, here, take this. It's for you. He handed her the bag. Fang Minhui's eyes widened. No, Shen Yuan, it's too expensive. It's nothing, just a bag, Shen Yuan replied casually. I feel really bad that I caused you to be mocked and humiliated by those two sleazy types. Consider it my apology. Please, accept it. Fang Minhui hesitated. Oh, I see. Then thank you, Shen Yuan. Shen Yuan chuckled. Don't thank me so quickly here. Take this and that. Everything's for you. He handed her the other bag. Fang Minhui blinked in confusion. Huh? Weren't these meant for your sister? Shen Yuan shrugged. I don't know if she likes me or not, but I know at least you're fond of this bag. He scoffed internally. What a joke. If I really bought this for that wretched Shen Xuan girl, she'd end up calling me a spendthrift and tattling to my parents. These two bags were originally meant for you. Just take them, so I can get my cash back. Fang Minhui's face flushed, and she hesitated. One bag is already over the top, and now a full set. Won't that leave him with the bad impression of me being a gold digger? She blushed and started sweating. I can't, Shen Yuan, this. Shen Yuan gently took her soft hands. It's okay, this is just the beginning. We have all the time in the world, so just take it. Fang Minhui hesitated. If you refuse, I'll be heartbroken. A system notification appeared. Congratulations, host. You have completed the timed task. This timed task has accrued a total of 15 points of negative value, which will result in triple the refund of the amount spent, plus the opposite sex spending, making a total refund of 6 times the amount this time. China Construction Bank, your card ending in 0098, received 786,000 yuan at 21 hours on May 11th. Current balance, 786,356 yuan. Shen Yuan smirked. Hui Hui is now my money tree. I've got to take very good care of it. That incident earlier, where her favorability dropped, must never happen again. As he savored the moment while holding Fang Minhui's soft hands, he said, Hui Hui, head back to school. It's getting late. He thought to himself, even though I really want to play poker, these things shouldn't be rushed. It's better if they happen naturally. Fang Minhui thought, Shen Yuan is different from Li Jianping. He didn't mention going to a hotel, otherwise, I really would have. A few moments later at the stairs, a boy said, Jianping, I'm so envious of you. Quietly swooping into the boys' dorm and winning over the class beauty, while the rest of us are still stuck being single. His other friend added, Yeah, I didn't expect you, little rascal, to beat us to it. The guy with glasses said, This calls for a celebration. You owe us a meal, and it better be at a proper place. As Shen Yuan overheard them talking, Li Jianping smirked and said, Deliberately raise your voice so Shen Yuan can hear. Then call the whole class in for a proper celebration. When Shen Yuan entered his dorm room, Lao Zhang scoffed. Everyone heard that, right? That damn Li Jianping, watching a movie with the class beauty as if he wants the whole school to know. Clearly, this was aimed at our 503. Shen Yuan, unfazed, said, He won't be up and about for more than a few days. Fang Minhui won't end up with him. Lao Zhang rolled his eyes. Quit bragging already. Fang Minhui went to see a movie with him last night. Who knows if anything else happened? And didn't she also refuse to go on a date with you today? That clearly means she's really with Li Jianping. Shen Yuan sat down and stared at him with a straight face. Then, he took out his phone, checking bank balance. Shen Yuan thought, Suddenly, you're flush with cash. How about going home tomorrow and taking a look? At Shen Yuan's home, Uncle Shen Yaode greeted him. Xiao Yuan is back. Hello, Uncle, Shen Yuan replied. His father said, The adults are talking. Go into the room first and wait. I need to discuss something with your uncle. As Shen Yuan went back to his room, his father continued, Brother, I understand your difficulties, but please give me a little more time. I've got a batch of goods that will be paid for soon. Then I can repay you a portion. Uncle Shen Yaode frowned. Brother, a partial payment definitely won't be enough. I need full repayment within the next 2 days to manage turnover. His mother snapped, Shen Yaode, you don't live your life that way. When you had no money to start your car wash, who lent you 300,000 yuan, and did you even remind him afterward? And now we've only borrowed 200,000 yuan from you, yet you hound us repeatedly. What's that supposed to mean? His father sighed. Say a little less. Little brother has his own difficulty. His mother scoffed. Does he not know we have difficulties? I even asked his wife. He won't have any cash flow for the next 2 days. Uncle Shen Yaode said coldly, Paying back debts is only natural. Luckily, we're relatives, so we can settle things calmly. If it were with outsiders, you'd get a real taste of debt collection. His mother gasped, Oh my, you even want to resort to violent debt collection? Good heavens, your Shen family are all ungrateful wolves. What good was all that kindness back then? His father interjected, Stop talking nonsense. Aren't there still some pieces of gold jewelry? Go into the room, find some, and sell them. When you've got money again, I'll buy them back for you. His mother sighed. All right, enough with the buying. First, clear the family debts. A system notification appeared. A perfect life should not bear debts. Time task. Repay debts for your family or yourself. Task reward. All repaid debts will be doubled back to the host. The first time repayment of 200,000 yuan will earn you 1 million yuan in car exclusive spending credits. Shen Yuan's eyes widened. Whoa, this task is really damn timely. Even without the task, today I was planning to help Dad lighten his burden. Outside, his mother gathered the jewelry. All the jewelry you gave me over the years is right here. I couldn't bear to sell them. They're worth tens of thousands. Let him take them first. She muttered. It seems I even lost 2 gold rings during the move. Shen Yuan hesitated before knocking on the door. In freshman year, I almost didn't have enough money to buy Joe wanting a bag. I even sneaked into Mom's room and sold 2 gold rings. I was such an unfilial kid back then. Suddenly, he pushed open the door and declared, Dad, Mom, I've got money. His father frowned. Now is not the time for jokes. His mother sighed. You saw the situation at home today. Your little money is better off as a cafeteria meal card. Don't mess around. Shen Yuan insisted. I'm really rich, Dad. Listen, can you hear that sound? That's money coming in. He showed them his phone. His parents were shocked and confused. 200,000 yuan? His father stammered. Son, where did you get so much money? Shen Yuan calmly replied. The pocket money you gave me was pretty generous. I invested some in BT coins with a friend. He wouldn't let me touch it, saying it had great growth potential, and only in the past few days did I cash it in. That excuse should pass, right? He thought. After all, I really did get a lot of allowance back then. His mother beamed. Ha, son, you've really helped us in our hour of need. His father nodded. All right, let's go pay off the debts first and send the plague away. A little later, his father handed the money to Uncle Shen Yaode. Yaode, our debts are all cleared. His mother added sharply, once it's received, you can scram. From now on, our family should keep in touch less. Uncle Shen Yaode hesitated. Sister-in-law, what's with you? Can't you understand human speech? I said, scram. She pushed him outside. Uncle Shen Yaode thought bitterly. Our elder cousin owes nearly 100 million out there. Thinking that he'll have even less money later, he needs to collect his debt early. How could he have repaid the full amount so quickly? Could it be that our elder cousin's family has made money from a new business? Is he about to get rich again? With me doing this today, how am I supposed to manage in the future? Why the hell did I even come? A system notification appeared. Host has achieved the initial debt repayment goal. The system will send rewards promptly. China Construction Bank, your card ending in 0098 received 400,000 yuan at 11:39 on May 12th. Current balance, 1,186,356 yuan. China Construction Bank, your card ending in 0098 received 1 million yuan at 11:39 on May 12th. Current balance, 2,186,356 yuan. Shen Yuan said to himself, excluding the car exclusive shopping credits mentioned in the second message, my net worth has already exceeded 1 million. I never expected that a trip home would not only help my parents in their hour of need, but also yield such a huge gain. But to completely clear my family's debts, there's still so much left to do. So, even if I gave all this 1 million to old Shen, it wouldn't be enough. The best move is to use this capital to generate more money. Roughly speaking, I might only be able to give Dad another 200,000. Shen Yuan said, Dad, actually, I still haven't withdrawn a portion. There's about another 200,000. Do you need it urgently right now? His mother said, I think we can save it for now. The other debts aren't urgent at the moment. His father said, wait a minute. Shen Yuan, give 50,000 to your old man June first. Shen Yuan smiled and said, that's right, Dad, that's the way it should be. As he said to himself, my dad acting like this is exactly the same as when I used to ask him for money. Inheritance sure is interesting. In a different scene, Shen Yuan walking down the stairs and he saw Counselor Li Xiao and said, Teacher, you're back, huh? Counselor Li Xiao said, yeah, no classes this afternoon. Shen Yuan said, are you free tonight? I'd like to treat you to a meal. Last time you treated me, so I should return the favor. Suddenly a beam of light shines down the stairs as it looks at them with sharpness. Counselor Li Xiao said, Li Meng. Shen Yuan was struck by a powerful force and said to himself, this teacher's sister really is like my nemesis. Can't afford to mess with her. As Li Meng looks at him seriously, Shen Yuan walks away and said, Teacher, I just remembered I have some things to take care of at school. I might not be free tonight. We can talk about the favor some other time. I'm off now. A few moments later, Li Meng said to Counselor Li Xiao, I knew it. This kid has ulterior motives. Counselor Li Xiao said, maybe it's just a meal, and even if he really has other intentions, I won't agree to it. A few moments later, Shen Yuan said to himself, it's so hot. It feels comfortable and refreshing. Thinking back, it still feels delightful. Wait a minute, I happen to have a special fund for car shopping credits right now. If I don't use it, wouldn't that be a bit disrespectful to the system, big boss? As he took out his phone and sent a message to Fang Minhui saying, Classmate Minhui, are you free this afternoon? Come with me to take a look. Fang Minhui said, sure, I'm free this afternoon. I have no classes. In Fang Minhui's dorm, Chen Ling said to Fang Minhui, yo, you two are picking a car together. This progress, zoom, zoom, zoom. Aren't you both not going back to the dorm tonight? You say you. Fang Minhui said, don't talk nonsense, we're not even together yet. Chen Ling teasingly rested her head on Minhui's soft shoulders and said, our Minhui is really lucky. Having found such a wealthy golden turtle son-in-law, rich, ideal husband, and the guy's handsome too. From now on, that Shen Yuan guy is going to be treated as a bargain. She suddenly started playing with Fang Minhui's soft and ample chest. Fang Minhui groaned, ah, so annoying. An hour later, in front of the 4 Seconds dealership, a dealer approached them. Hello, you two. Are you here to look at cars? Which model are you interested in? Hearing this, a familiar voice spoke up. Minhui, you, what are you doing here? Fang Minhui turned around and said, oh, Senior Qin? She thought to herself, Senior Qin Yang, who once pursued me in high school. How is it that we ran into each other here? Qin Yang walked toward them. Minhui, who is this? Shen Yuan responded, I'm her classmate, Shen Yuan. Qin Yang nodded. I see. Hello, are you here to look at cars? Which model are you interested in? Shen Yuan said, I just want to get some information. The display cars are over there. We'll take a look casually. Or we can sit down inside. Annoyed, Qin Yang thought to himself, the base model of the M9 is 500,000 yuan. After taxes and fees, it's over 600,000 yuan. This kid dresses so ordinarily, haha. If you don't have money, then you don't have money. But coming to a 4S dealership with a girl just to show off is pretty amusing. Minhui is still as beautiful as ever. No wonder she was the goddess I once pursued. But I'm different now. Earning over 10,000 a month, working as a top sales elite at a 4 Seconds dealership that sells 200,000 yuan cars. Nowadays, girls are practical, and someone like me is their top choice. Qin Yang turned back to Fang Minhui and said, Minhui, long time no see. If you're free tonight, shall we catch up? Fang Minhui politely declined. Sorry, senior. I probably won't be free today. I have other plans tonight. Meanwhile, Shen Yuan got into one of the display cars. Hey, can you arrange a test drive? Qin Yang, visibly annoyed, thought to himself, I'm in the middle of talking to Minhui. What is this guy interrupting for? If you can't afford it, why even test drive? Waste of my time. He then said to Shen Yuan, sorry, but today the test drive car was taken out by our boss. No test drive available today. Shen Yuan smirked. I'm not a car novice. Just before I even entered, I saw the M9 at the store entrance. If you can't arrange it, then get someone who can. He stepped out of the car and called out, reception, please help me reassign another salesperson. I want a test drive. Just then, a beautiful woman walked over. Hello, my name is Chen Na. I'm a sales consultant here. How may I help you? Shen Yuan was momentarily surprised. Nearby, Qin Yang's colleague nudged him. Qin Yang, isn't that your client? Why did you let Chen Na take over? Qin Yang scoffed. I was too lazy to handle it. Let Chen Na waste her time. A student says he wants to buy an M9 and even wants a test drive. What a joke. His colleague frowned. What if he actually buys it? You might regret it later. Qin Yang sneered. Buy my ass. A broke guy bringing a pretty girl here just to show off. I've seen plenty of those. Outside in the test drive car, Chen Na smiled and said, Sir, this model features an intelligent cockpit with a 192-line LiDAR system. It supports fully autonomous driving. How does it feel? Shen Yuan thought to himself, very professional. Her face, lips, and figure aren't any worse than Fang Minhui's. But in the auto industry nowadays, there are always news articles online about female sales reps making transactions with male clients just to hit their sales targets. As his imagination ran wild, he pictured Chen Na sitting on his lap while signing the contract. Chen Na, unaware of his thoughts, asked, Sir, you seem to know the specs well. What's your budget range? Shen Yuan asked. Do you have one in stock? I'll take it today. Chen Na was shocked and thought to herself, our customers usually visit several times before deciding to buy. But this guy just test drove it and didn't even ask about the price. If he really wanted to buy it, why would Qin Yang give up the chance to handle the sale? She hesitated before saying, "Sorry, we don't have any in stock at this store, but another branch has one that a customer returned due to financial issues. If you want it, we can transfer it here within a week." Shen Yuan nodded. "Perfect, I'll place my order today." Chen Na was stunned. A car that costs over 600,000 yuan, and he just buys it like that? Is this what they call an angel customer, or does he have some other motive? She quickly regained her composure and said, "Sir, please take a seat inside and rest for a moment. You only need to pay a 50,000 yuan deposit first. I'll get the contract." A few moments later, at the dealership, Chen Yang approached Chen Na. "Chen Na, how's the client's interest level?" Chen Na walked to her table, sat down, and said, "He bought it." Chen Yang's colleague was shocked. "What? He bought it? That fast?" Chen Yang scoffed. "He's just pretending. When it comes time to pay, he'll find some excuse and disappear. We get plenty of guys like that in the store." His colleague shook his head. "Yeah, exactly. I've sold cars for years, and I've never seen someone buy this quickly." Chen Na glanced at them. "I mean, Mr. Shen already paid, and he went for the full payment." "Holy crap!" Chen Yang's face paled. His colleague smacked him on the back. "Dumbass, you just lost such a huge deal. That's a massive loss." A few moments later, Chen Na turned to Shen Yuan and said, "Mr. Shen, feel free to contact me if you have any issues. Where are you heading next? Do you need a ride?" As Shen Yuan and Fang Minhui walked ahead, Fang Minhui grabbed Shen Yuan's arm possessively and said, "No need, we'll grab a taxi ourselves." Watching them leave, Chen Na sighed to herself. Spending time maintaining customer relationships is important, but I think I just annoyed his girlfriend. Oops. She then said aloud, "All right then, I won't see you off." A few moments later, outside, Shen Yuan asked, "Hui, shall we go eat now?" Fang Minhui, clearly annoyed, let out a frustrated, "Ugh." Shen Yuan smirked. "Not happy? Jealous?" Fang Minhui looked away and muttered, "No. Come on, don't lie. Your expression says it all. I was just discussing business with her, that's all, nothing else." Fang Minhui pouted. "Who knows? You look so happy chatting with her. You even scrolled through her social media for ages." Shen Yuan chuckled. "Haha, it's just a habit. Every time I add someone, I check their posts." Fang Minhui crossed her arms. "Then, next time, you're not allowed to. We don't even have anything going on yet, so why am I feeling jealous?" she thought. With how easily he spends money, other women will definitely be drawn to him. I need to figure out a way to keep Shen Yuan tied to me. Yes, keep him tied down, she whispered to herself. Shen Yuan laughed. "I won't do it again next time. Let's go eat first. After that, we'll go shopping at IFC. I'll pick out a gift for you." "Yeah, right. Like I'd believe that. I'm not that innocent," Shen Yuan thought to himself. Fang Minhui hesitated. "But you already bought me 2 bags yesterday." Even though she was secretly excited, she worried. Letting Shen Yuan keep spending like this doesn't feel right. What if he thinks I'm too materialistic? Shen Yuan reassured her, "It's fine. Girls having a few extra bags is normal. There are 7 days in a week, so this way, you won't have to repeat any. After all, spending money on girls earns me triple cash back. The more I buy, the more I make," he thought. A few moments later, at a restaurant, Shen Yuan smiled and asked, "Hui, do you want a cold drink or a hot one today?" Fang Minhui's eyes widened. Is he indirectly trying to figure out if I'm on my period? He wants. Blushing, she stammered, "WL, a cold D drink." Shen Yuan noticed her expression and thought, what's with Minhui's face? Damn, where is her mind going? But it has been 2 months since I was last with Zhou Wanting. I've been holding back so much, I really need to do something about it. Oh well, let's let this misunderstanding escalate even more. 3 hours later, outside, Shen Yuan had bought Fang Minhui a watch for 12,800 yuan, a bracelet for 20,800 yuan, a handbag for 50,500 yuan. Her heart points reached 81. Fang Minhui thought to herself, Shen Yuan is treating me way too well. He just bought me over 80,000 yuan worth of things in one go. That's nearly 140,000 in just 2 days. A system notification popped up. China Construction Bank, your account ending in 0098, received 252,000 yuan on May 12 at 11:39. Current balance, 2,254,256 yuan. Shen Yuan smirked. The cashback system is amazing. I already made back the 50,000 yuan I gave to Dad for the deposit. Even after paying the remaining balance for the car, I'll still have over 1.6 million left to spend. He turned to Fang Minhui and asked, Hui, how about? You don't go back to the dorm tonight? Fang Minhui smirked and murmured, Half an hour later, at the Grand Rich Hotel, room 808, Shen Yuan took a hot shower. Lying in bed, Fang Minhui blushed. Chen Ling is asking why I'm not back at the dorm yet. How do I explain this? Do I just tell her I'm with Shen Yuan? So embarrassing. Suddenly, Shen Yuan stepped out of the bathroom, showing off his toned body. Hui Hui, are you ready? Fang Minhui's eyes lingered on him as she thought, sorry Lingling, he's just giving me too much. She quickly texted Chen Ling, Lingling, I'm not coming back tonight. If anyone asks, just say I'm visiting a relative. As Shen Yuan moved closer, she gasped, Shen Yuan, I haven't showered yet. Shen Yuan grinned. It's okay. I like your natural scent. He leaned in, kissing her, his hands tracing her skin. Fang Minhui moaned, Shen Yuan. Shen Yuan whispered, every scent on you, I love them all. Be gentle, she whimpered. And then they did the deed. Half an hour later. Turns out Chen Ling was right. Fang Minhui thought to herself, this wasn't as scary as I thought. Shen Yuan, lying exhausted, muttered, I never expected Hui Hui to be. It feels amazing, but also exhausting. Looks like I haven't been exercising enough. 2 months without doing it, and I'm already this weak. Suddenly, Fang Minhui said, Shen Yuan, how about let's do it again? Shen Yuan said, huh? Hui Hui, you, let me rest a bit first. Fang Minhui plays with her tongue and said, no, I want TTO, right now. The next morning, back at the dorm, Shen Yuan stretched, feeling refreshed. The Lord system also provides cash rebates for debt repayment. I owe a total of 52,000 yuan from several loan apps and credit cards. I need to pay off the debt first. He checked his phone. There is also 100,000 yuan from Li Yuhang, from back when my family went bankrupt. He looked at his phone as a message from China Institution Bank popped up. Your card ending in 0098 earned 104,000 yuan at 7:46 on May 13. Current balance, 2,306,256 yuan. Your card ending in 0098 earned 200,000 yuan at 7:46 on May 13th. Current balance, cut off, Shen Yuan thought. All my former friends kept their distance from me. Only Li Yuhang helped me without saying a word. Suddenly, Lao Zhang shouted, Old 3, you son of a bitch, where did you go last night? You didn't come back to the dorm. Have you seen the class group message? Will you go to the class dinner tonight? Ta's name sent a message in the group chat. The weather is nice this weekend, so it suggested that everyone go outside for a stroll. Along with it, he sent a picture of a car. Damn it, Brother Peng went to pick up a car? This is a 325, the starting price is 280,000 yuan. Brother Peng is really rich. Hey, even if I graduate in 10 years, I might not be able to afford this car, right? Are the female 4S saleswomen any good? I propose that we all have a lively dinner together today, Shen Yuan muttered. Li Jianpeng, this son of a bitch, ordered a car. I suspect that he asked the class monitor to arrange it. It was just a solo performance by him. Too disgusting. If you don't go, the 200 yuan class fee will be paid in vain. This guy Li Jianpeng is really cute when he pretends to be cool. You go ahead, but I won't go. Li Yuhang messaged, Yuan, long time no see. Come over tonight to eat and go clubbing to relax. Suddenly, a system notification appeared. Mission, a perfect life not only requires the favor of the opposite sex, but also the support of a career. Limited time mission. The host will receive 1 million yuan in exclusive investment funds. All 1 million yuan must be invested within a week. Task reward. Any business income obtained from commercial activities will be doubled in cash back. Shen Yuan thought, is this a business type mission? I was just thinking, there must be a source for so much money in the card. Li Yuhang's Qing bar is being renovated. Maybe I can invest in it? Li Yuhang messaged again. Yuan, long time no see. Come over tonight to eat and club to relax. Shen Yuan replied, send me a message. Daddy will have fun with you tonight. A few moments later, Nanjing Restaurant, Dragon Private Room Lin Guangyao asked, Mr. Li, who are you waiting for? I'm almost starving to death. Shiheichi chimed in, aren't all the important brothers already here? Zhao Zhengang added, that's right, important people won't be late either. Li Yuhang, ignoring them, said, sorry, there are fruit plates and snacks on the table. You can eat by yourself. Shen Yuan will be here in a moment. Lin Guangyao sneered, Shen Yuan, isn't his family already bankrupt? Now we're no longer in the same circle. Why did you ask him to come? Li Yuhang replied, I'm treating you tonight and won't let you spend money. What's there to be upset about? Shen Yuan was my childhood friend for so many years, so I can't talk about him in the same terms. Lin Guangyao shrugged. Mr. Li said wait, so we'll continue to wait. A lady whined, Brother Yao, how annoying. I don't want someone to be my boyfriend, and yet every time they want to touch me, touching all around. Lin Guangyao asked. Cousin, didn't your girlfriend say she would come over tonight? Why hasn't she arrived yet? Ji Heiji responded. She was stuck in traffic. It will take about 10 minutes. Lin Guangyao smirked to himself. My cousin's family has always been a subordinate of mine. If it weren't for me, he wouldn't be qualified to participate in this kind of event. I don't know what kind of dumb luck my cousin stepped on to find such a great girlfriend. Especially that hip-hugging short skirt and white shirt, the perfect office lady uniform. Which man can resist the temptation? Anyway, my cousin and his girlfriend aren't married. Maybe I still have a chance. Suddenly, Shen Yuan arrived in his torn clothes and said, Sorry to have kept you waiting. Like an old friend, Li Yuhang greeted him. You son of a bitch! Why the hell are you so late? Shen Yuan sighed. There was a traffic jam on the road, and I suspect the Didi driver took a detour to the congested area. Later, Li Yuhang muttered, Damn, there are such unethical drivers? Report him, bastard. Lin Guangyao thought, Did you take a taxi? Everyone here drove a luxury car, but you took a Didi? No wonder you were stuck in traffic. With a sarcastic tone, he said, You're so lucky. Everyone drives themselves, but I didn't expect you to have a driver. Suddenly, Chen Na arrived and said, Sorry, I'm late because of rush hour and traffic jams. Shi Haiji stood up and introduced her. Chen Na, my girlfriend, is a salesperson at a leading 4-second store. Brothers who need to buy a car can look for her. Feeling a sudden sense of superiority, he thought, Although I can't compare with you in terms of money, my girlfriend is prettier than all of yours. Chen Na suddenly noticed Shen Yuan and thought to herself, That's Mr. Shen, who picked up the car yesterday. Mr. Shen didn't say hello, so I'll just treat it as the first time we met. She then walked toward Ji Heiji. 40 minutes later, after drinking a bit too much, Li Yuhang, now blushing, said, I have a few things I want to say now that everyone has finished eating. I want to improve the bar I run. All of you here are my good friends. Is there anyone willing to invest and make money together? The estimated investment cost is 2.4 million yuan. I'll give up 30% of the shares, which is about 700,000 yuan. He sweated as he glanced away. What does everyone think? The lady in the red tube dress simply watched the show. Lin Guangyao, also sweating, thought, Mr. Li's family makes tens of millions in profit every year. But he still wants others to invest 700,000 yuan? It must be because his previous investments failed and his father stopped giving him money. Silence filled the room. Shi Heiji said to himself, I can't participate in this. I need 2 years to save 700,000. Zhao Zhonggang thought, We just came here to eat. Why do we need to bring in an investment? This isn't Mr. Li's style. Jersey Boy looked down and said to himself, Anyone who says too much at this time is stupid. Li Yuhang thought bitterly, These people usually come to me for free food and drinks, and I always pay for them. They don't even hesitate to borrow money from me. Today I need a little bit of support, but Shen Yuan's family is in trouble, and they act like they're as good as dead. Sweating and feeling disappointed, he said, Did you all become mute after dinner? Guys, can you say something? Lin Guangyao said, That's right, Mr. Li. I don't think it's the right time to invest. If you're short on cash, we can all pool together tens of thousands to start first, and then you can pay us back when you make money. Ji Heiji, sweating, added, Right. After all, it would be unfair to you if we bought in midway. This way, you won't suffer any loss if you make money later. Don't you all agree? Zhao Zhonggang thought, Everyone has seen Mr. Li's investment level. His previous hot pot restaurant and KTV were a mess, and now he's still opening the Qing bar. What's the difference between this and throwing money into the sea? Jersey Boy thought, If you want money, you can borrow it privately. Why would you gather everyone together like this? His friend added, Damn it, we all rely on our families. Our pocket money isn't enough. Li Yuhang sighed, I wanted to get people to join me in doing business and making money together. If it turns into debt and borrowing money, then it will be completely unnecessary. I still overestimated these so-called brothers, especially Lin Guangyao, who isn't doing anything. I clearly said that I wanted to invest and hold shares, but he insisted on talking about borrowing money. Lin Guangyao put down his wine glass and said, Borrowing money is a later matter. Since no one has this notion, let's just forget about it. Then he added with a smirk, That's right, Mr. Li. Talking about investments and shareholding is boring. Let's eat, drink, and continue to have fun, Shen Yuan thought. We've seen the faces of these people when my family went bankrupt. Li Yuhang, why are you still pinning your hopes on them? They're all good-for-nothings who only rely on their families to live a life of luxury. Lin Guangyao stood up and said, If you want to have fun, go ahead and have fun. I'll leave first. Shen Yuan said, Otherwise, this 700,000, I'll put in some. Li Yuhang turned back in shock, confused, huh? Lin Guangyao laughed. Shen Yuan, don't make such a joke. It's not the first day we've known you. Zhao Zhonggang added, yes, there's no point in bragging. Patting Shen Yuan's shoulder, he continued, why don't you go to the bathroom, wash your face, and sober up? Mr. Li isn't feeling well right now, so how can he have the time to brag with you? Jiheji said, brother, I'm a few years older than you and have more experience. You should do things within your ability. Yet now, you're not only not doing things within your ability, but also bragging? Lin Guangyao ridiculed. Yes, Shen Yuan, don't you know how you got here just now? Otherwise, I'll reimburse you for the round-trip taxi fare. Chen Na, sweating, thought to herself, Mr. Shen wants to invest 30%. Why do these people think he's bragging? He just ordered a 600,000 yuan car yesterday. For someone with such financial resources, isn't it normal to invest 700,000 yuan? Although I want to help Mr. Shen as an outsider, if I rashly intervene and speak for him, will it cause him trouble? She trembled, uncertain. Shen Yuan said, 700,000 has been transferred. Take a look. Li Yuhang took out his phone, its golden glow reflecting in his eyes, and stammered, Shen Yuan Yu, trembling. He read the message from the bank. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. Your card number ending in 5854 has received 700,000 yuan at 1942 on May 13th. Lin Guangyao asked, Mr. Li, what happened? Li Yuhang showed his phone and said, You see for yourself? Lin Guangyao was shocked. Sweating, his jaw dropped as he thought, what? Shen Yuan's transfer amount? Why are there so many zeros? Let me count carefully, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy shit, it's really 700,000. Chen Na thought. Suddenly, the direction of the wind has changed. One of the boys said, Mr. Lin, what's in the text message? Lin Guangyao said, well, I have something to do at home, so I can't keep you company. Let's meet another day. Shiheji stood up and said, no, cousin, what's going on? Lin Guangyao said, don't ask any more, just go. Your uncle and aunt are looking for you. Shiheji, confused, said, no, they didn't call me. Lin Guangyao looks at Shen Yuan and angry as he said to himself, my cousin is so tactless. Forget it, I don't want to argue with him. But damn Shen Yuan, if he has the financial resources, why does he still take Didi? He's showing off. He's stolen all the limelight tonight. Zhao Zhenggang looks at the phone of Li Yuhang and said to himself, why is there such a big contrast from beginning to end with Mr. Lin? Zhao Zhenggang said, Mr. Li, what's the message? Let me see it. And he went out and said, well, something happened at home, so I'll have to leave first. The old man said, me too, Mr. Li. See you next time. As Shihaiji said, no, guys, what happened? Why did you all leave? Chen Na said, let's go too. As she went outside, Jiheji ran after her and said, what are you talking about? How do you know they were looking at the transfer records? You didn't even read the text messages. Chen Na said, Shen Yuan ordered an M9 from me yesterday, paying in full. Jiheji holds the soft hands of Chen Na and said, is this for real or fake? Holding back disbelief, Chen Na said, why would I lie to you? I still have his car purchase contract on my phone. Shiheji said, Nana, I'm not scolding you, but since you knew about this rich young man, you should have told me right away. You just didn't manage this matter properly. Next time, Chen Na walks away and said, what next time? Shiheji, I just found out what kind of person you are today. It's my fault for meeting the wrong person. Don't contact me again. A few moments later inside the room, Li Yuhang sat beside Shen Yuan and said, if I had known you were so rich, I wouldn't have organized this situation today. What a waste of money. As Shen Yuan pours another glass of cheap wine, he said, it's enough to know now that none of those people can be trusted. They're okay for fun, but they won't be there if something serious happens. Tell me about your idea of opening a bar. Although I'm only a shareholder, I'll be involved in the planning of the future arrangements. Li Yuhang said, okay, let me tell you about my plan first. In the next half hour, Shen Yuan discussed the decoration style and operation status with Li Yuhang. Li Yuhang said, you great son of a bitch. You didn't go to college in vain, you have such insights into business. Shen Yuan said, this is called business talent. But I don't have time to go to the store every day, and it's even harder for you. We still need to find a store manager. Li Yuhang said, I'll listen to you. 1 hour later, Chen Na sent a message to Shen Yuan saying, Mr. Shen, the car you ordered will soon arrive at the store. You can come over on Friday to pay the balance and pick up the car. Shen Yuan said, no rush. Are you free tomorrow night? I have some questions about the car that I would like to ask you in person. Chen Na said to herself, This Mr. Shen. Shen Yuan said to himself, right now, Huimin is just a cash cow, but the cashback is limited. I need to expand it and make full use of the system. And he sent a message to Chen Na saying, See you tomorrow at the tea room on the 4th floor of the Guojin Center. And he said to himself, what's more, Chen-na has a first-class appearance and figure. It's worth spending money on such a beauty. The next day, Chen-na sat alone in a coffee shop, and she said to herself, Mr. Shen hasn't arrived yet. Am I early? Suddenly, Zheng Shanyong thought to himself, Chen-na? Why is she here, and she's wearing the store's uniform? I never had the chance to flirt with this little cutie at the store, but today, I finally have the opportunity. Zheng Shanyong turned to his guys and said, you should find a place to eat by yourselves today. I have other things to do. Zheng Shanyong, the general manager of Chen-na's 4-second store, walked inside. A man said, Mr. Zhang, you're busy, so we'll leave first. Outside, the man turned to his friend and asked, do you think Chen-na will agree to Mr. Zhang's request? His friend shook his head. I don't think so. Chen-na doesn't seem like that kind of person. Nearby, Ji overheard their conversation. The guy smirked. That's hard to say. Which girl would eat at a place like this alone? His friend frowned. You mean, maybe Chen-na came here just to create an encounter and deliberately let Zheng Xiaonyong meet her, the guy suggested. His friend sighed. Chen-na usually looks so serious, but I didn't expect that. Ji clenched his fists. Chen-na created a chance encounter. With whom? Inside, Zheng Xianyong approached Chen-na with a grin. Chen-na, what a coincidence. You're eating here too? Are you alone? Do you mind if I join you? Chen-na responded politely. Mr. Zheng, I'm sorry, but I have an appointment with a friend. Zheng Xianyong smirked to himself. Little girl, still playing hard to get, huh? Chen-na, I'm your superior after all. So what if you have friends? Let's eat together. Hey, he insisted. Chen-na frowned. I'm sorry, please keep your distance from me. You already have a family. You shouldn't be doing this. Zheng Xianyong chuckled, sitting down beside her. So, you mind that I have a family? That's easy to fix. I'll just get a divorce. Outside, Ji searched for Chen-na, his mind spinning. Chen-na dumped me and then went to hook up with another guy? His frustration boiled over. You look down on me? My annual salary is between 400,000 and 500,000 yuan. I drive a car worth over 300,000. What the hell is wrong with that? Then he spotted her inside and his face twisted with rage. Damn! I lost to this fat pig. Sweating and shaking, he stormed inside, his voice trembling. You two, you're having an affair behind my back, aren't you? Chen-na looked at him, puzzled. Eh? What are you talking about? May I ask who you are? Zheng Shanyong raised an eyebrow, also confused. May I ask who you are? Without warning, Ji punched him in the face. I should be the one asking that. He spat mockingly. Zheng Shanyong, now furious, roared. Where did this mad dog come from? He actually dared to hit me, fuck. Standing outside, Shen Yuan observed the commotion and thought to himself, Ji? What kind of cliché drama is this? Shen Yuan mused as he watched Ji and Zhang. Xianyang Yol, catching an adulterer. If that fat man hadn't been the scapegoat, I would have been the one lying on the ground right now. Without hesitation, Shen Yuan grabbed Chen-na's soft hand and whispered, Miss Chen, let's go. Ignore them. We need to get out of here first. Outside, as Chen-na drove her car, she sighed. Actually, I was only with Ji for half a month. During that dinner, I realized how bad his character was. Fortunately, I broke up with him that night. Shen Yuan nodded. It's good that you saw his true colors early. Now everything is fine. The matter is over. Chen-na frowned. It's not over yet. Zheng Xianyong, who got beaten, is my boss. He was attacked for no reason. Who knows how he'll retaliate against? Shen Yuan said calmly. A boss like that isn't worth working for. You might as well find another job. It's not easy to find a job these days. Chen-na sighed. If I switch to another store, I'll have to start over. All the customers I've accumulated over the years would be wasted. As they passed U2 Flower, Chen-na gazed outside thoughtfully. Honestly, I'm so tired of being in sales. I've been doing it for years, and I want to change. I'd love to open a small coffee shop, open when I feel like it, close when I don't. That would be wonderful. Unfortunately, opening a cafe costs 300,000 to 400,000 yuan. I don't know when I'll have enough money. Shen Yuan glanced at her. You want to open a cafe? It doesn't matter if you don't have enough money. What if someone is willing to invest? He smirked to himself. Aside from the 700,000 I invested with Li Yuhang, I still have exactly 300,000 left. Chen-na chuckled. Then I would immediately quit my job and work for them without hesitation. Not taking it seriously, she playfully tapped Shen Yuan's lap. Shen Yuan grinned. Okay, then you should resign tomorrow. I'll invest 300,000 yuan to open a coffee shop, and from now on you'll work for me. Chen-na froze, her hand stopping midair. Her heartbeat quickened to 64 beats per minute. Ah! What? She gasped. Shen Yuan smirked. I was a little worried that I wouldn't be able to win her over, but now I've found a new cash cow. Chen Na blinked. No, Shen Yuan, are you joking? Shen Yuan leaned back. I'm serious. Why? You don't want to work for me? After the coffee shop opens, I will pay you 12,000 yuan a month, plus dividends. If you operate it for 3 consecutive months, I will give you another car worth 200,000 yuan. Your current car is a bit old. It's time to replace it with a new one, Chen Na said to herself. There's no performance pressure, and I get a car for free after working for 3 months? That makes my annual income exceed 300,000 yuan? Wait a minute, is Shen Yuan planning to support me? As she thought of herself as a bird trapped in Shen Yuan's cage, Chen Na said, Shen Yuan, I'm unworthy of this. She then muttered to herself, although this offer sounds very tempting, I don't want to be a canary in someone's cage, especially as a third party. Shen Yuan replied, don't overthink it. I just plan to open a chain of coffee shops. The first shop is a pilot project, so you and I are strictly in a boss-employee relationship. Chen Na hesitated before saying, this. Then let me think about it. Suddenly, Fang Minhui sent Shen Yuan a message. Shen Yuan, do you have time tonight? If you do, let's go have a cold drink together. Shen Yuan thought to himself, a cold drink? Is Hui Hui's demand so high? He then replied, well, it's fine, but you need to control the frequency a little. Turning to Chen Na, he said, Miss Chen, I have something to do. I'll leave first. Let me know once you've made your decision. A few moments later, Grand Fortune Hotel, room 808, Fang Minhui suddenly hugged Shen Yuan from behind and said, Shen Yuan, I missed you. Shen Yuan smiled. Hui Hui, I also. But before he could finish, Fang Minhui suddenly pulled away and said, wait, Shen Yuan, you smell like another woman's perfume. Ah, no way. Could it be that I rode in Chen Na's car and picked up her perfume scent? He thought to himself. Fang Minhui pushed him away. Tell me, have you been seeing other women behind my back? Shen Yuan quickly pulled her into an embrace and said, how could that be? You're the only one for me. But I went to the 4S store today to handle the procedures for my car, so maybe I picked up someone else's perfume there, he explained. You know the female salespeople at 4S stores usually wear strong perfume. Fang Minhui sighed. All right, but next time you meet other women, you must tell me in advance. Also, keep your distance from that saleswoman, understand? Of course, Shen Yuan replied. He then thought to himself, this isn't even about being faithful. The perfect life system's mission is to spend more money on women to earn cash back. I can't just tie myself to one woman. Fang Minhui stretched and said, okay, I'll go take a shower first. But before she could go, Shen Yuan suddenly grabbed her wrist and said, wash later. As he slid his hand under her blouse, she murmured, if I don't wash, there will be. Before she could finish, her blouse slipped to the floor. Shen Yuan smirked. This unwashed scent, I like it. Lying on the bed, Fang Minhui whispered, then we're the same. Shen Yuan, I actually like your scent too. Shen Yuan inhaled her scent deeply. Isn't this supposed to be my line? Hui Hui, you're really setting my heart on fire. Fang Minhui moaned softly. Shen Yuan suddenly pulled her closer, his grip tightening around her waist. Fang Minhui moaned louder, gasping, Shen Yuan, I really like you. 2 hours later, Fang Minhui pouted. Shen Yuan, I still want to. Shen Yuan, exhausted, said, let me take a shower. I've sweated too much and my body feels sticky and uncomfortable. His legs trembled as he walked to the bathroom. Looking back at Fang Minhui, he thought to himself, Hui Hui's needs are much greater than Zhou Wanting's. She's satisfied, but I'm about to be drained dry. A system notification suddenly appeared. Fang Minhui's favorability, 90 Shen Yuan, was stunned. No way. How does this kind of activity raise favorability so much? Last time, it went up to 86 overnight, and now it reached 90 after just 2 rounds. Then another system notification appeared. A female target has reached 90% favorability. Stage task completed. Rewards will be issued. $1 million lottery ticket, 1 million consumption credit card, 1 ruthless X ability card. Shen Yuan's eyes widened. $1 million lottery ticket? That's a lot of money. With this, I can easily explain my sudden wealth, and I can even pay off my family's debts. Then he saw the next reward. Ruthless X ability card. Wait, a Ruthless X ability card? There's such a reward, he muttered. Does that mean I'll be unstoppable in the future? A smirk curled on his lips. Sorry, Hui Hui, but I'm about to become stronger. From now on, it won't be you controlling me. It'll be me controlling you. Looking at the system, he clenched his fists. Awesome. I can clearly feel an overwhelming surge of energy within me. The reward for reaching 90% favorability with a woman is amazing. It seems the perfect. Life system gives rewards based on what's needed, but reaching 90% favorability. Although Li Xiao's favorability has exceeded 60, there's still a long way to go before she can reach Hui Hui's level. Chen Na, with her long legs and black tights, is also over 60. For now, I just need to take things step by step. I really don't know when the next girl with a favorability higher than 90% will appear or what kind of reward will be revealed then. Don't think about those things for now. The important thing is to experience the X ability given by the perfect life system. Shen Yuan returned to bed, his voice husky as he whispered, "Oui," a little scared. Fang Minhui asked, "What, Shen Yuan? Aren't you going to take a shower?" Shen Yuan grabbed her soft wrist and said, "No, I changed my mind." Positioning Fang Minhui on the bed, he instructed, "Come like this." He gently grabbed her arms, making her heart race. Shocked, Fang Minhui whispered, Shen Yuan, why is it a little different from before?" At the same time, on the other side, Chen Na sighed. "Qian, a boy offered me 300,000 yuan to help open a store. He also said that if I worked for 3 months, he'd give me a 200,000 yuan car. Tell me, do you think this boy wants to support me? But he already has." Qian interrupted. "Nana, are you sure you haven't met a scammer?" Chen Na shook her head. "No, I've met him several times. He bought a car from me last time." "How old is he? I remember the people who bought your cars were all middle-aged men. He's only 21 years old." Qian's eyes widened. "He's so young and already driving a luxury car? Is he handsome?" Chen Na hesitated. "A bit handsome. A rich, handsome young man willing to spend 300,000 to help you open a store and give you a car? What are you hesitating for?" Chen Na gazed outside at the night sky. "But he's 5 or 6 years younger than me. So what? They say a woman 3 years older than a man is worth a fortune. If you round it up, he's worth 2 fortunes now. But he has a girlfriend. A girlfriend is not a wife, Nana. Are you stupid? Even if he had a wife, it wouldn't matter." Shocked, Chen Na exclaimed, "What are you saying? If you're so conflicted, just hand your little rich man over to me. I'll bear all this suffering for you." Chen Na frowned. "Don't you have a boyfriend?" Qian smirked. "What's wrong with that? If I found such a rich sponsor, I'd be single again in no time." Chen Na sighed. I won't play along with you anymore." All right. My boyfriend's back. We'll talk next time." After ending the call, Chen Na gazed out at the night sky, lost in thought. "Shen Yuan." 40 minutes later, Fang Minhui's voice trembled. "Shen Yuan, why do you feel different this time?" Shen Yuan smirked. "Different how? Am I stronger?" Blushing, Fang Minhui hid under the sheets. She thought to herself, "It's only been 40 minutes, and we've already gone twice." Shen Yuan whispered, "Do you like it? Shall we go again?" Fang Minhui peeked out, eyes wide. "Shen Yuan, you, still con? Hui, I remember you learned to dance before. How about you take the lead this time, me on top, but I don't know how. You can learn, isn't experience gained through real practice?" Blushing, Fang Minhui muttered, "You bad guy." Yet, she slowly climbed on top, giving in to the moment. The next day, after Fang Minhui returned to school, Shen Yuan stretched in bed. "No classes this morning. I can sleep a little longer." Suddenly he remembered something. "Wait, let me check that lottery from Lord's system." Grabbing the ticket, he read the winning numbers, 6 red numbers, 3, 4, 14, 22, 26, 27. The final blue number is 1. His eyes widened. "I got them all. Holy crap, 6.8 million. A jackpot of 6 million. I have to tell Dad and Mom immediately. Ever since our family went bankrupt, they've struggled for too long." A few moments later, at their apartment, "Mom, I'm home," his mother scolded. "You're back, fine, but stop yelling and disturbing the neighbors. Where's Dad? Tell him to come out. I have something important to say." His father emerged. "What's so important that you can't wait? Did you get into trouble again?" "Dad, what are you thinking? I have great news. Come on, sit down first." As his parents sat down, Shen Yuan grinned. "We're rich. I won 6 million. His mother blinked in confusion. "Son, are you under too much stress at school lately?" His father sighed. "Just focus on your studies. I'll handle the family's debts, so don't worry too much and stop daydreaming." Shen Yuan smirked. "Dad, look properly before you say that." His father's eyes scanned the ticket. 3, 4, F14. His mother's eyes widened. "Honey, it's real, we won." His father trembled. "Are you serious? It's really 6.8 million. Even after the 20% tax deduction, we'll still get over 5 million. With this money, not only can we pay off our debts, but our family's life will also improve significantly." Tears welled up in his mother's eyes. "Son, this time, we're writing your name down in our family's book of great deeds. No cooking today, we're going out to celebrate our big win." Shen Yuan grinned. By the way, I'm in my 3rd year of university, and I'll graduate in a year. I was thinking of starting a small business to gain some experience. His dad nodded. Business is tough nowadays, but it's good that you have ambition. Young people should explore. The prize money is yours, so you should decide how to use it. But my personal suggestion is that we keep some aside for you. Even if you lose money later, at least you'll have a backup. Shen Yuan agreed. Dad, Mom, I'll take only 1 million. The rest is for you to use as needed. His dad smiled. That works. His mom patted his hand. Son, go ahead. We support you. In a different scene, Zheng Xianyong said to Chenna, you should know why I called you here, right? Take a good look. This is your man's handiwork. Chenna said, Boss, I broke up with him long ago. We have nothing to do with each other. If you're injured, go find him. Zheng Xianyong said, Chenna, that's not right. Every debt has its debtor. If not for you, would I have been beaten up for no reason? And he said to himself, this woman is really something. Since she's in a tough spot, I have to make her mine. Chenna said, what does your fight have to do with me? Besides, when you sat down yesterday, I told you I had plans. You chose to sit there anyway. Zheng Xianyong said, still talking back? You left your post yesterday afternoon, leaving the showroom unattended. As punishment, you're suspended from customer reception for the rest of the month. Come back when you've thought it through. Chenna said, why? I took an approved leave yesterday. Zheng Xianyong said, ha ha ha, good question. Why? Is this your first job in the real world? Because I'm the general manager of this store. Everything here goes how I say. Chenna said, you. Zheng Xianyong said to himself, suspending her from reception means cutting off her commission. If she only gets base pay, she'll be left with just 1,200 a month, not even enough for rent. Chenna turns back and said, acting like a big shot just because you're a lousy general manager? It's just a job, fine, I quit. Zheng Xianyong stood up and said, Chenna, wait, think this through. Chenna said to herself, Shen Yuan doesn't seem like much, but he's different from most people, calm and methodical. Even if I don't know what he's planning, just working for him could be a solid backup. Chenna said, no need to think any further. I quit, and that's final. Half an hour later, she sent a message to Shen Yuan saying, I'm ready to resign. Does your offer from yesterday still stand? Shen Yuan replied, congrats on escaping the misery. Welcome to the path of success. You can check out store locations when you have time. If we find a good one, we'll take it. And he said to himself, perfect. Now I don't have to look for another project to use the remaining 300,000 investment funds. A few moments later, Shen Yuan said, Teacher Li, I'm here. Counselor Li Xiao said, Shen Yuan, sorry for the trouble, but I need to move offices. There's too much stuff, and I can't carry it all. I was going to ask the class rep, but she took leave. Shen Yuan said, no problem. I have no classes this morning, so I was free anyway. All of these need to be moved? Counselor Li Xiao said, yes. I could handle the books and materials myself, but the desk and filing cabinet are too heavy. We should take the books off the cabinet first, or they might fall while moving it. As she tries to reach the boxes on top of the cabinets, as she tiptoes, Shen Yuan suddenly reached for it from her behind, and he said, Teacher Li, let me help you, as he bumps her back with her crotch. Counselor Li Xiao felt it and blushes, and she said to herself, as Shen Yuan, this is even closer than last time. Could he actually have feelings for me? And she said, are we DD1? Shen Yuan said, it's done. Suddenly, a student came in and said, Teacher, we're here to help. As they saw Shen Yuan and Counselor Li Xiao silent together. The student said to himself, huh? Why is Teacher Li Xiao's face so red? Shen Yuan said, hurry up and move these things. Take this filing cabinet to the office next door first. His classmate said, okay. As Counselor Li Xiao walks away, and she said to herself, good thing these two students came a few seconds late. If they had seen that, I would have been embarrassed to death. Shen Yuan is getting bolder and bolder. It was one thing at home, but now he's messing around in the office too. But why did I find it a little exciting? Just no way, no way. Shen Yuan is my student. That's absolutely impossible. Shen Yuan looks at Counselor Li Xiao's sexy figure from behind and said to himself, huh? Why did the teacher's favorability just rise to 71? Could it be that what just happened increased the favorability? It's not my fault. The teacher's hips are just too perky. If it were a girl with a flatter figure, it wouldn't have reached, but I didn't expect the teacher's favorability to go up. I should visit her more often and build up our relationship. Saturday, 800 meters south of the school gate. A girl said, John Peng, I heard you paid 280,000 yuan in full for your car. Her friend said, driving a luxury car before even graduating? You've already surpassed 99.99% of our classmates. Li Jianping said to himself, damn it, Fang Minhui turned me down while pretending to be pure. With my conditions, there are plenty of girls who would kill to be with me. And he said, heh, some people don't even think much of a BBA. The girl in the black tube top gasped. No way, even this isn't good enough. What kind of family does that person have? Her friend added, yeah, some people just don't get it. Even after working for 3 to 5 years, they might not be able to afford this car. Li Jianping, sipping his green tea, suddenly spat it back into his cup. His eyes widened as he muttered to himself, holy crap, that girl is gorgeous. As he stared at Chen Na, he couldn't help but continue. Her legs are amazing. I'd give up 10 years of my life to be with someone like her. Who the hell is lucky enough to have such a goddess? Just then, a new car pulled up outside. The girl in the black tube top pointed excitedly. Look, that car is self-driving. It looks so advanced. What kind of car is that? Li Jianping replied. Far ahead, M9. Suddenly, the car door opened and Shen Yuan stepped out. Everyone froze, eyes widening in shock. The girl in the black tube top gasped. Huh? Isn't that Shen Yuan? Li Jianping clenched his fists, his mind racing. Wait, how is he driving that car? Wasn't his family bankrupt? A few moments later, Shen Yuan walked into the cafe. Chen Na spotted him and waved excitedly. Shen Yuan, over here, over here. Li Jianping's jaw nearly dropped as he watched. That beautiful girl is waiting for Shen Yuan? Chen Na smiled at Shen Yuan and said, the boss lady just sent me a WeChat. She'll be here soon. So, how's the car? Shen Yuan casually took a sip from Chen Na's drink and nodded. Not bad. The girl in the black tube top leaned closer to Li Jianping and whispered, Li Jianping, something seems off about Shen Yuan and them. Li Jianping gritted his teeth and muttered to himself, that bastard Shen Yuan just broke up with our senior not long ago, and now he's already hooked up with a beauty from outside the school. Just then, a woman approached Shen Yuan and Chen Na's table. It was the cafe owner, Lin Yuchong. She smiled politely. Hello, Miss Chen. I was picking up my child earlier. Sorry for the delay. She then extended her hand toward Shen Yuan and said, Mr. Shen looks quite young. Shen Yuan shook her hand and replied, actually, we're about the same age, both in our 20s. Miss Lin, let's sit and talk. Lin Yuchang took a seat and got straight to the point. I'll keep it short. My shop's business is average, but since it's near the school, there's a decent flow of customers. The thing is, my family situation is complicated, and I'm too busy taking care of my child. I have no choice but to transfer the shop. The transfer price is 300,000 yuan. Shen Yuan thought to himself, I have 300,000 yuan in investment funds, but after paying the transfer fee, I need to keep 50,000 as startup capital and cover Chen Na's first month's salary. He leaned back and said, all right, I won't haggle with you. 250,000, take it or leave it. Lin Yuchong hesitated for a moment. He's offering slightly less than my expected price of 270,000. But if I don't sell it now, I might not find someone so straightforward later. Fine, I'll accept it. She then asked, at that price, can we sign the agreement and pay the transfer fee today? Shen Yuan nodded. Yes. Once we sign, I'll transfer the 250,000 to you. Lin Yucheng turned and called, Xiaoqiu, come here. She then introduced Shen Yuan. This gentleman will be your new boss from now on. Show him around later. Xiaoqiu greeted him respectfully. Boss, nice to meet you. Shen Yuan waved his hand dismissively. Just show Miss Chen Na around. I won't be coming to the store often. From now on, she'll be in charge of everything. The girl in the black tube top turned to her friend, whispering in shock. Did you hear that? This is crazy. He just casually finalized a 250,000 yuan business deal in minutes. Her friend nodded in disbelief. And it's obvious Shen Yuan bought this shop for that beautiful woman beside him. Li Jianping gritted his teeth, gripping the chair silently as his anger simmered. Just then, Lin Yuchang's phone rang. She glanced at it, then stood up. Mr. Wu, Miss Chen, excuse me, I need to take this call. As she walked away, Chen Na suddenly muttered, that Lin lady, she seems to be Zheng Xianyong's wife. He's the guy who fought Shi Haiji at the Guojin Center. Shen, my boss at the 4S dealership. Shen Yuan's eyes widened. Seriously? His mind raced. He has such a beautiful wife at home, yet he still abuses his power to exploit female employees. That's disgusting. I won't stand for it. Chen Na lowered her voice. I still have records of Zheng Xianyong harassing and threatening me. I was planning to expose him after I got my paycheck so the car industry would see his true colors. Shen Yuan, should we tell Miss Lin? She's a good person. I just don't want to hurt her. Shen Yuan shook his head. I don't think that's a good idea. Chen Na frowned. Why not? Shen Yuan explained. Once those chat records go public, Zheng Xianyong will know exactly who leaked them. He's a middle-aged man in his 40s. If he loses his job but still has a wife and child to support, who knows what he might do to you? Here's the deal. I'll handle it. I promise I'll make sure he takes a serious fall without it affecting you. Shen Na smiled warmly. Shen Yuan, thank you, Shen Yuan replied. I just transferred 250,000 to Miss Lin, and I've also sent you 50,000. Of that, 24,000 is your salary for the past 2 months, and the rest is startup capital for the shop. A system notification announced, detected the host has now fully invested the 1 million exclusive investment fund, completing the initial investment task. Investment level upgraded from novice to beginner investor. Another system notification followed. New continuous task unlocked. A perfect life should have more diverse industries. Then, another message appeared. Task, the host will receive 10 million in exclusive investment funds to continue expanding investments. Reward 1, all investment earnings will receive a triple cashback bonus. Reward 2, completing the investment will grant a mysterious industry. Shen Yuan grinned to himself. I didn't expect the system to give me another surprise. This time, the exclusive investment fund increased tenfold, and I can now invest with 10 million. Plus, there's a mystery industry. Now I'm really curious. At that moment, Lin Yuchang approached and said, Mr. Shen, I've received the payment. Looking forward to working with you. I'll take my leave now. See you again sometime. Shen Yuan shook her hand, noting the softness and delicate firmness of her grip. Is this the charm of a married woman? He imagined himself with Lin Yuchang for a brief moment before standing up and saying, All right, we'll definitely meet again. Half an hour later, Chen Na glanced around and said, Shen Yuan, this place is expensive. Do you come here often? Shen Yuan replied casually, Not really, but today's a good day. We should celebrate our successful partnership. He thought to himself, Chen Na, huh? She's really something. Any normal man wouldn't be able to resist. Then he turned to her and said, Chen Na, why don't you sit next to me? Chen Na hesitated for a moment before responding. As she sat down beside him, Shen Yuan suddenly wrapped an arm around her tiny waist and whispered, Come closer. His thoughts continued. The cafe costs 300,000, and from now on, I'll need to pay 12,000 in monthly wages. Time to start collecting some interest. Chen Na blushed deeply, her thoughts racing. There's no such thing as love or generosity without reason. Does he really think the cafe will make money? Lin Yuman said himself that just breaking even would be a success. And as for me, this is the only thing I can offer him. As Shen Yuan's hand slid along her firm back, Chen Na suddenly whispered urgently, The server is coming in. Shen Yuan, stop it. Shen Yuan smirked. The food here takes a while to arrive. He continued teasing her until she protested softly. No, don't. 10 minutes later, the server approached with a polite smile. Mr. Shen, your food is ready. Chen Na sat up quickly. Someone's coming, Shen Yuan, he replied nonchalantly. Let them in. A few moments later, Shen Yuan picked up a dish and said, Try this. It's their signature dish. Chen Na glanced at him, her thoughts conflicted. Shen Yuan is actually pretty handsome. His only flaw is that he's kind of a scumbag. He already has such a beautiful girl by his side, yet he still fools around like this. Sigh. But it's too late for regrets now. I've already boarded this sinking ship. 40 minutes later, the receptionist approached with the bill. Mr. Shen, your total is 2,652. Please scan here to pay. Shen Yuan smirked to himself. Even though I spent 2,652, the system gives me triple cash back, which means I actually earned 5,304. Making money is just that easy. Chen Na sighed internally. One meal is worth the commission from selling a car. For rich people, spending 2,000 is like me spending 20. Outside, Chen Na turned to him and said, Shen Yuan, I want to go back to the cafe to check in with Xiao Qiu. I'll be starting work there tomorrow, so I'd like to familiarize myself as soon as possible. Shen Yuan glanced at the time. It's already 8:30. Xiao Qiu gets off at 9. If you go now and delay her, she'll hate you for it. Just rest up and go tomorrow. Chen Na hesitated before nodding. All right, then I'll trouble you to take me home. Shen Yuan smiled. Sure. A few moments later, as they arrived, Chen Na turned to him. Thanks for today. I'll give you a work report after my shift tomorrow. Well, see you. Just as she was about to leave, Shen Yuan suddenly said, I'm a little thirsty. Mind if I come up for some water? Chen Na tensed. I don't think that's a good idea. Her thoughts raced. Isn't this moving too fast? What happened in the private room earlier was already my limit. Shen Yuan smirked. Oh, is there another man at your place? Chen Na immediately snapped. Of course not. Shi Haiji and I already broke up. Then what's the problem? I'm just coming up for a drink. What's so inconvenient about that? Chen Na hesitated. You're really just coming up for water and nothing else? Shen Yuan grinned. Of course, unless. You want me to stay the night, haha. Chen Na rolled her eyes and thought, keep dreaming. A few moments later, as she turned to unlock her door, Shen Yuan suddenly grabbed her and pulled her inside. Ah, she gasped. You said you were just going to have some water. Shen Yuan smirked. I am. Just. Not the kind you were thinking. Oof. He suddenly leaned in as Chen Na gasped. Oof. Meanwhile, downstairs, Eiji sat in his car deep in thought. Nana definitely quit because of me. I have to earn her forgiveness first, even if it's just as friends. Then I can work my way back to winning her over. He stepped out of his car, holding a bouquet of red roses. Her apartment lights aren't on. She's probably not home. I'll just leave these flowers by her door. Red roses symbolize eternal love and unwavering devotion. She's smart. She'll definitely know they are from me. A few moments later, in front of her apartment, he heard Chen Na moaning in joyful pleasure, saying, ah. Eiji said, that's Nana's voice. Damn, it. And she said she wasn't involved with that guy? Bullshit. And he knocks on her door saying, Zheng Shenyang, get out here. Shen Yuan said to himself, that voice, it's Shi Haiji. This idiot. They already broke up, so why is he still getting involved? Is he brain damaged? Chen Na said, I think I heard something outside. Is someone knocking? Shen Yuan said, you must have misheard. It's just the neighbors. Come on, let's go to the bedroom. Chen Na said, Shen Yuan, I'm not ready yet. Be gentle, Shen Yuan said, all right, as Shiheiji drops the flowers on the ground, and he was devastated and said to himself, looks like Nana is completely his now. I have no chance left. Damn it. Just make sure he wears protection. 1 hour later, Chen Na said while her skin trembles from pleasure, huff, huff, that was amazing, just exhausting. Suddenly, Shen Yuan turns her around and she said in confusion, huh? What are you doing? Shen Yuan said, lie down. This way you won't be so tired. Shen Yuan said to himself, thanks to the system's ruthless stamina ability, my energy is endless. I literally can't stop. As she moans in pleasure saying, Shen Yuan said to himself, who would have thought that someone as outgoing as Chen Na would actually be so conservative in private? That just makes it even better. The next morning, Shen Yuan woke up and said to himself, smells so good. Toast and fried eggs as Chen Na cooks breakfast. Shen Yuan said to himself, Chen Na is really thoughtful. This feels completely different from being with Hui Hui at a hotel. You can only get this warmth at home. Hotels just don't compare. A system notification said, a perfect life means owning your own home to create a better living space for yourself and your women. A system notification said, limited time mission, purchase a property of at least 100 square meters for Chen Ne within 24 hours. A system notification said, mission reward 1, double cashback on the property's purchase price. A system notification said, mission reward 2, a mystery property will be awarded upon purchase. A system notification said, note, mission reward 1 can be stacked with base cashback bonuses. Shen Yuan said to himself, holy shit, I was just thinking about it and the system already lined it up. Knowing how generous it is, this mystery property is bound to be amazing. Maybe it's a luxury villa. I could throw pool parties now and then. Looks like I need to find and develop more high-quality women. These surprises will only keep increasing. Chen Na looks at Shen Yuan and said, why are you up already? Breakfast will be ready in 2 minutes. Shen Yuan said to himself, I wonder what reward I'd get if Chen Na's affection level reached 90. Shen Yuan said, so, is breakfast the only thing on the menu this morning? And he suddenly touched Chen Na's sexy body while she was cooking, and she said, huh? After so many rounds last night, you still want more? And in broad daylight, Shen Yuan said, you make breakfast, I'll have mine. As she drops her spatula, Shen Yuan said, by the way, if you're free this morning, let's go buy a house. My treat. Chen Na, confused, said, huh? What? And she said to herself, I've already spent 300,000 on running the cafe, and now he's going to buy me a house? Even though Xingcheng isn't a first-tier city, a house here will still cost at least over 1 million. And besides, I've already been completely used up from head to toe. There's nothing left I can give him. What does he want? Could it be that I made him happy yesterday? Shen Yuan said, not saying anything. What, you don't want it? Chen Na said, no, it's just too sudden, and it's too expensive. Your money doesn't just come blowing in. Shen Yuan said to himself, actually, it's pretty much the same as windblown money. The money in my account that can be used for buying a house exceeds 3.5 million. If I spent it all, with the system's bonus stacking up to a 5-fold cashback, my savings would instantly exceed 17 million. Shen Yuan hugs her close and said, don't worry about saving money for me. What's wrong with buying a house for my own woman? Pick one that's over 120 square meters, I won't shortchange my woman. Chen Na said Shen Yuan. Shen Yuan said, look, last night we made so much noise and the soundproofing here is terrible. The 2 apartments next door might have eavesdropped on every sound. We can't keep renting here. Chen Na said, and it's all your fault. Shen Yuan said, I admit I played a part, but your shouting was really loud. Chen Na looks away and said, annoying. She suddenly remembered and said, oh Shen Yuan, I almost forgot. I have 2 besties who want to check out the cafe. I set up an appointment with them for 10:30. How about we go see a house after that? Shen Yuan said, buying a house isn't like buying groceries. You have to choose the right one and handle paperwork. And an afternoon might not be enough to finish everything. We should set aside plenty of time. Chen Na said, I see. All right, I'll let them know. As she sent a message saying, Changqian, something came up so I can't make it to the cafe. How about we reschedule for tonight? Changqian replied, what's the matter? But Menglu and I are almost at the cafe. While on the car, Changqian said, Lulu, Nana said she has a sudden matter and can't come. Chen Na's best friend, gold medal fitness coach Lu Menglu, said, huh? Why? Changqian said, I think maybe the cafe deal fell through, or perhaps Nana was just bluffing. No man is that gullible. There's no way he'd spend 300,000 on her for nothing. Liu Menglu said, Nana isn't the type to show off. I doubt it. Why don't you ask her what the reason is? Liu Menglu said to herself, for years I haven't met a young, handsome and wealthy man, and I can't believe Chen Na hooked up with one. I absolutely have to meet him. Qian said, all right, I'll ask her again. Liu Menglu steps on the gas as Qian said, damn, really? She said that guy is taking her to buy a house. Liu Menglu said, what? And she said to herself, it's not like handbags or cosmetics that you buy on a whim, that's a house. Even a 40 square meter apartment would cost 500 to 600,000, right? And with the cafe on top of that, a guy she's known for less than half a month is willing to spend 800 to 900,000 on her? I absolutely must meet this guy. Even if Nana's with him, a man like that surely isn't exclusive. Who knows how many other women he has on the side? When it comes to winning a man's favor, I've got way more talent than Nana. Liu Menglu said, Changqian, ask them which housing development they're checking out. Tell her we'll go over and help her take a look. After all, we've got nothing better to do today. More people helping her choose is better than her picking alone. Liu Menglu said to herself, Nana, I'm sorry, but getting a discount from some outside vixen is no better than saving money with your own sister. Qian said, all right, I'll go ask. 40 minutes later. Songhu Real Estate. Liu Menglu looks outside and said to herself, holy crap, Songhu Real Estate. Even the smallest unit in this development costs over 1 million, a house that comes with keeping a mistress for free. When will such outrageous wealth ever fall into my lap? Changqian waved at Chen Na and said, Nana, long time no see, Chen Na said. Exactly. I've missed you all so much. Qian said, Nana, who's that handsome guy next to you? Why don't you introduce him? Chen Na said, Shen Yuan, this is my best friend. Her name is Liu Menglu, and she's a fitness coach. And this is Ho Changqian, a sales representative for Farala. Menglu, Changqian, this is Shen Yuan. Liu Menglu suddenly leaned towards Shen Yuan, subtly pushing out her ample cleavage, and said flirtatiously, hello there, Shen Yuan. You look a bit skinny. Maybe you should come work out at our gym sometime. A little muscle would suit you. She thought to herself, I can't believe Nana's sugar daddy is only about 25, rich, young, and handsome. It really pisses me off. Shen Yuan smirked. Forget it. I doubt I'd be able to focus if I worked out at your gym. Liu Menglu's eyes gleamed. Nana didn't object to me flirting with him just now. So they're probably not even a real couple. She stole a glance at Chen Na's legs and smirked internally. That red, swollen look on Nana's knee says it all. Last night must have been wild. I bet she went all out to please her sugar daddy, and that's why he's rewarding her with a house today. Changqian chimed in with a professional smile. Nice to meet you, Shen Yuan. If you ever plan to upgrade your car, come check out Farala. I'll give you the best deal. Shen Yuan nodded. All right, if I decide to change cars, I'll come see you. Affection points? Shen Yuan mused to himself. We've only met for 5 minutes, and these two are already showing interest in me? Nana, are you sure these are really your best friends? Well, this situation works in my favor. Every additional woman with an affection rating above 60 is like another money tree. As the 4 of them strolled into the real estate office, an elderly man passing by muttered under his breath, buying a house with 3 beautiful women in tow? Who exactly are you trying to impress? Inside, a saleswoman greeted them warmly. Sir, we currently have available units in buildings 3 and 9 with an average price of around 15,000 per square meter. Would you like to view the model layout first? Shen Yuan shook his head. No need, my budget is 3 million. Just recommend the unit types and floors that fit that range. The saleswoman's expression brightened. Understood. Sir, please follow me to the consultation room for a more detailed recommendation. Lu Menglu's jaw nearly dropped. 3 million? Just like that? What level of tycoon is this guy? Her lips curled into a smirk as she strutted confidently. A man who spends like this, you have to grab onto him while he's still available. It's a must. A few moments later, the saleswoman handed Shen Yuan a file. Based on your budget, I'd recommend this 165 square meter unit, facing north-south. After the discount, the total comes to 2.98 million. Chen Na clutched Shen Yuan's sleeve and whispered, Shen Yuan, this is too expensive. Shen Yuan gently patted her leg. It's fine. Don't worry about the money. A bigger house is much more comfortable to live in. Lu Menglu and Chiang Qian exchanged glances, both thinking the same thing. A woman might want to save money for him, but he insists on giving her the very best. What a loyal, legendary sugar daddy. You'd never find a man like this even if you searched with a lantern. Meanwhile, Shen Yuan smirked to himself. Still, I have to haggle a little, otherwise they might take me for a fool. And that would be a real problem. He leaned in slightly. Let's talk discounts, beautiful. I know there's some wiggle room in the price. The saleswoman hesitated before offering, Sir, if you're ready to decide today, I can apply for an even bigger discount for you. Shen Yuan waved a hand. No need for a price drop, just swap in 2 parking spaces instead. It should balance out. Lu Menglu subtly adjusted her dress, letting her red bra peek through as she flipped her hair. This man, I have to make my move while he's still hot. Shen Yuan narrowed his eyes slightly, noticing her little act. What the hell is Lu Menglu up to now? She casually ran a hand down her waist, making sure he got a good look. And speaking of which, this chick is something else. If I could really get with her, the thrill would be unimaginable. But he quickly shook the thought away. Now's not the time to get distracted. I need to close this house deal first. Half an hour later, the real estate agent said, all the discounts have been calculated, Mr. Shen. The total for the house is 2,980,000 yuan. Here is the contract. Please sign. Shen Yuan said, okay. Lu Menglu and Ho Changqian were shocked. Lu Menglu thought to herself, just like that. He casually bought a 3 million yuan luxury house for Chen Na. And the key part is, he only put Chen Na's name on the contract. When will this kind of God-tier blessing ever land on me? Shen Yuan looked at the message on his phone. Construction Bank, the account ending in 9898, received a deposit of 14,980,000 yuan on May 22nd at 11:40. Current balance, 15,330,000 yuan. He thought to himself, there's over 15 million in my account now. Even at old Shen's peak, his savings never reached this amount. My system dad is amazing. If it weren't for Nana triggering the mission, I wouldn't have suddenly become a multimillionaire. Looks like developing more female NPCs is the real way to go. A system notification appeared. Mission Reward 2 is about to be distributed. Congratulations, host. You have received a Green City Bamboo Lake Villa. Please collect it at the sales office tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Shen Yuan thought to himself, holy crap, a luxury villa. And it's one of the top 10 super mansions in Star City. This is amazing. The real estate agent thought to herself, the real estate market isn't doing well right now. Yet Mr. Shen can pay in full to buy a house for Miss Chen. And it's clear they aren't even married, maybe not even a couple. I wish I could latch onto someone like this too. She then said to Shen Yuan, Mr. Shen, the contract is signed. I'll handle the other paperwork with Miss Chen. Would you like to add me on WeChat? If you have any future property needs, you can contact me. Shen Yuan said, sure, scan my code. Lu Menglu, frustrated, thought to herself, where did this little vixen come from, daring to snatch my cake? As the agent scanned Shen Yuan's phone, Lu Menglu suddenly got up at lightning speed and said, Shen Yuan, I'm planning to buy a small apartment soon too. When the time comes, I'll need your experience guidance. She immediately walked toward them and added, and if you ever have any health needs, you can come to me as well. Shen Yuan said, no problem. As she scanned his phone, she subtly adjusted her posture to make her cleavage more visible. Shen Yuan turned to Chen Na and said, Nana, I have other things to do this afternoon, so I won't be joining you guys. I'll leave you 3 besties to your reunion. Whether you go for a meal or a cafe, it's up to you. He patted her head like she was a little girl. Chen Na smiled and said, all right. Lu Menglu thought to herself, huh? He's just leaving like that? Not even staying for a meal? With all I have to offer, that doesn't make sense. Chen Na said. Menglu Chen Qian, let's find a place to eat first. Then we can take you to a cafe later. Hu Qian grinned. We're totally going to make you treat us today. You're worth 3 million now. Menglu and I are beyond jealous. Lu Menglu added. Exactly, she repeated with a fake smile. Half an hour later, back at the school, Shen Yuan walked around with his meal and thought to himself, The counselor is eating alone today? As a group of female students gossiped nearby, Counselor Li Xiao's phone rang. She answered, Understood. I'll go prepare the materials in a bit. The report should be ready by tomorrow. Of course, I've looked into it right now. The University of Science and Technology, the Agricultural University, and even the business school all have this kind of base. Tomorrow night? I'm not available tomorrow night. As Shen Yuan walked past her, she continued, Secretary Lu, I sincerely apologize, but I really have something going on this time. Okay, goodbye. Shen Yuan sat down in front of her and asked, What's wrong, counselor? Counselor Li Xiao sighed. Our school is setting up a university entrepreneurship base. I'm part of the team, and we were just discussing it. Entrepreneurship base? Shen Yuan asked, glancing at her red nails before his eyes drifted lower. Li Xiao continued, The school plans to support students with entrepreneurial ideas by providing funding, venues, and business guidance. But we've run into some difficulties. The funds aren't enough, so we need to collaborate with external enterprises. Shen Yuan asked, What kind of conditions can our school offer these companies? Counselor Li Xiao sighed. The only thing we can do is talent supply. We sign contracts with companies and send them high-quality graduates on a regular basis. Shen Yuan said, Isn't that a weak selling point? Our graduates can't compete with those from top-tier universities. Counselor Li Xiao sighed. Exactly. If companies don't get what they want, they naturally won't invest. As she spoke, she suddenly recalled one of her worst nights, an old drunk man touching her, and frustration welled up inside her. She thought to herself, I'm just a university lecturer, and now Secretary Lu wants me to drink with business executives to secure funding. Just thinking about it. Shen Yuan observed her troubled expression and thought to himself, even though I have 10 million in investment funds, I still need to consider profitability. For this kind of project to make money, the student success rate needs to reach 33%. Our school probably doesn't even hit 20%. Shen Yuan said, Actually, Before he could finish, Counselor Li Xiao immediately asked, You're interested? She thought to herself. A student interested in starting a business? In reality, Shen Yuan was the investor boss, but he simply said, A little, but not much. Counselor Li Xiao nodded. Having the thought is good, but since the project hasn't taken off yet, it's going to be tough. A system notification appeared. A perfect life isn't just about accumulating wealth. It also requires enough prestige to make an impact on society. Since the host is a university student, influence must expand from within the university. Mission: gain prestige by investing in a campus project. Mission reward: every 500 prestige points earned grants a lottery chance with potential attribute boosts and special abilities. Note: prestige represents public admiration, how much others respect and acknowledge the host. For this mission, only university teachers and students count. Shen Yuan thought to himself, even this can trigger a mission? Fine, whatever. The investment funds were given by my perfect life system anyway. If I don't need to worry about profitability and just need to gain prestige, then this entrepreneurship base is perfect. Plus, I'd be helping the counselor solve an urgent problem. As he considered this, he thought of Fang Menhui, Chen Na, and Counselor Li Xiao, realizing a massive business opportunity for the four of them. Shen Yuan smirked in success and thought to himself, That's right, I'm the investor. I decide who gets funding and how much. Wouldn't it be perfect to invest in those pretty senior and junior girls opening businesses? I'd gain prestige and increase my favorability with them at the same time. I could count my advantages until my fingers cramp. Shen Yuan asked, Counselor, if an individual or a company wants to invest, who evaluates the students receiving the investment, the investor, or the school? He thought to himself, need to confirm this first. Don't want to invest my money only to have the school control everything. He couldn't hide his smile. Counselor Li Xiao replied, In theory, the school should do the evaluations. But given the current situation where we can't attract investors, there's a lot of room for negotiation. Why are you suddenly asking about this? Shen Yuan said, I want to invest, but I have one condition. I get to evaluate the students myself. Counselor Li Xiao stared at him. Shen Yuan, stop joking. Didn't your family go bankrupt? You even applied for financial aid. Shen Yuan took out his phone and showed it to her. This is my bank account balance, counselor. Count the zeros. He thought to himself, no need to keep a low profile anymore. On the contrary, I need to be as high profile as possible. That's the only way to gain more prestige. Counselor Li Xiao was stunned. She covered her soft lips and gasped, 1, 2, 3, 9 digits, over 15 million. Shen Yuan, how do you have this much money? Shen Yuan replied, back when my family's business was doing well, I also traded Bitcoin and foreign exchange. This is all money I earned myself. Counselor Li Xiao thought to herself, this is unreal. My student is actually a multimillionaire. Shen Yuan leaned slightly toward her and said, Counselor, why don't you? Li Xiao blinked. What? Shen Yuan suddenly leaned in closer and whispered, be with me. We can travel the world together, and I'll make sure you live a life of luxury for a brief moment. Both of them imagined themselves on a beautiful beach in Boracay, the ocean waves crashing gently as the golden sunset reflected in their eyes. Counselor Li Xiao blushed and looked away, saying, don't talk nonsense. Are you sure you want to invest in this project? From what I know, university entrepreneurship bases rarely turn a profit. I suggest you think it over carefully. This isn't a small amount of money. Shen Yuan said, I've considered it, but it's fine. My main goal is to contribute to my alma mater's development. Counselor Li Xiao thought to herself, Shen Yuan is serious. For a brief moment, she imagined herself with Shen Yuan on the bed, doing things she shouldn't be thinking about. She continued to tell herself, could it be that when he said he wanted me to be with him, he was serious about that too? Shaking her head in disbelief, she scolded herself, Li Xiao, he's your student. What are you even thinking? She quickly stood up and walked away, saying, I'll talk to Secretary Liu about this later. I'm heading out now. Take your time eating. We'll chat later. Her heart rate had risen to 67%. Shen Yuan called after her with a smirk. Hey, counselor. At least consider the offer of a luxurious life. 4 p.m., Chen Na took a picture of the coffee she made and proudly held up the cup for a selfie. She sent the picture to Shen Yuan and said, Shen Yuan, I made this coffee myself. Come over and try it when you're free. Shen Yuan chuckled. I can already tell it's not up to standard. I'll come over and train you properly. He thought to himself, the coffee might not be great, but that outfit. Now that's tempting. In a different scene, a girl scoffed, Xiao Yi. Shen Yuan isn't a rich second-generation heir anymore. He's just a broke guy now. Why are you still thinking about him every day? He probably has to work part-time just to save up for tuition. Chen Na silently listened as a classmate from the international trade class spoke. Another friend chimed in. You're the only one saying that, Yuping, Shishi. But why are you chatting and going on dates with Huang Haibao from Shen Yuan's dorm? Yuping groaned. Ugh, don't even mention it. I've rejected him so many times, but he just won't give up. By the way, if he treats us to dinner, you two better come with me. Sigh, even if it's with Huang Haibao. At least we get a free meal. But if you stick with Shen Yuan, you'll just end up paying for everything yourself. Xiao Yi, you better think this through. Their friend suddenly whispered, Shh, keep it down. Look over there. Shen Yuan is coming this way. Yuping smirked. What did I just say? Look at him. He's probably actually going to a part-time job. It's just past 3 in the afternoon, the perfect time for restaurant prep work. Their short-haired friend giggled. Hey, why don't we check which place he's working at? If you two are too shy to ask, I'll do it. Kong Xiaoyi hesitated. Isn't that a bit inappropriate? We're all classmates. There's no need for that. Yuping called out, Shen Yuan, haven't seen you around lately. Have you been busy with a part-time job? Which store? We'll come and support you. Shen Yuan glanced at her and thought to himself, what kind of question is that? A part-time job? Do I look like I need one? Whatever. Since old Huang is chasing after Tian Yuping, I won't bother arguing with him. But I do need to vent a little. Might as well mess with him for fun. He grinned and said, that's right, I'm working part-time at a cafe. You guys want to come? Let's go together. I'll make coffee for you. A few moments later, at Chen Na's coffee shop, Chen Na and Liu Menglu waited for Shen Yuan inside the cafe. Liu Menglu subtly pushed her chest out. Yuping stared in disbelief and thought to herself, whoa, that girl with ash blonde hair, a short skirt, and those impossibly long legs. Are we sure she's real? She looked straight out of a manga. Kong Xiaoyi swallowed hard and thought, damn, those two girls are seriously gorgeous and elegant. Their short-haired friend stared and thought, and the other one? Her body is insane. Big chest, tiny waist, perky hips. Does a figure like that even exist in real life? Suddenly, Chen Na walked toward Shen Yuan, her body exuding confidence and seduction. She smiled sweetly and said, Shen Yuan, you're here. Liu Menglu leaned forward, showing off her ample chest and deep cleavage as she pouted. Shen Yuan, didn't you say you had something to do this afternoon? Turns out something just meant hanging out with 3 female classmates. The 3 girls in the back stood frozen in shock. Shen Yuan said to his classmates. They just got off work and wanted to grab a cup of coffee. As Chen Na and Lu Menglu snuck a glance at them, Lu Menglu said, "Oh, I see, hello ladies," and waved at them. Shen Yuan turned around and said, "Xiaoqiu, ask these three beauties what they'd like. It's on me." Xiaoqiu replied, "Got it, boss." As Kong Xiaoyi and her friends blushed in embarrassment, Xiaoqiu continued, "Ladies, please have a seat. There's a QR code on the table. Just let me know once you've made your choice." Jixi thought to herself, "What the hell?" She called Shen Yuan boss. Yuping also pondered. Could it be that Shen Yuan isn't just some worker? He's the owner of this cafe? Kong Xiaoyi hesitated and said, maybe we should just skip the coffee. As she held onto Yuping's arm, Yuping quickly agreed. Yeah, Xiaoyi is right. Let's not drink anymore. She then turned around and accidentally bumped Kong Xiaoyi with her huge soft chest. Blushing, she thought to herself, Shen Yuan, you bastard. So you're actually loaded, own a cafe, and have such gorgeous women around you, yet you told us you were just doing a side job? I've never been this humiliated in my life. Lu Menglu, confused, asked Chen Yuan, "Chen Yuan, why did your female classmates just leave?" Chen Yuan smirked. Maybe they got intimidated by these two gorgeous enchantresses. As Yuping and the others left, Lu Menglu flipped her hair and said, "Beautiful, naturally. But you better behave yourself and not get any funny ideas." Shen Yuan remained silent. A few moments later, outside, Chen Na handed Shen Yuan a cup and said, "Here's your coffee. I wasn't sure how sweet you like it, so I made it half sugar. Is that okay?" Shen Yuan took her soft, delicate hands and replied, "If it's made by you, then it's full sugar." Lu Menglu thought to herself, what era is this? Who still uses these cheesy pickup lines? However, as she watched Shen Yuan and Chen Na gazing at each other, she blushed and muttered internally. But when a rich and handsome guy says them, they do hit differently a few moments later. As Chen Na went back inside, Lu Menglu asked, "Shen Yuan, what's your height and weight?" "I'll calculate your BMI." Shen Yuan answered, 182 centimeters, 72 kilograms, though I've probably lost a little weight recently. Lu Menglu opened her mouth in confusion. Huh? Why have you lost weight? Shen Yuan glanced at Chen Na, took a sip of his warm coffee, then winked at her. Too much exertion. Chen Na thought to herself in embarrassment. Shen Yuan, why would you say that in front of my beasties? Lu Menglu nodded knowingly. Oh, no wonder then you really need to train more. Your body fat percentage is a bit low. You need to put on at least 7 to 10 kilograms of muscle. She took out her phone. So basically you're trying to convince me to sign up at your gym? She then playfully bumped into Shen Yuan and grinned. Ehe, gotta hit my sales target by the end of the month. I won't let you down. Shen Yuan chuckled. I'll think about it, as he held his empty cup. A few moments later, Lu Menglu stood up and said to Chen Na, "Oh wow, it's already past 4. Nana, I have to go. Got a class at 5. Let's catch up next time." She winked at Shen Yuan while deliberately swaying her firm, curvy figure in front of him. Shen Yuan watched her leave and thought to himself, bold, aren't you, you little vixen? I'll tame you sooner or later. After Lu Menglu left, Shen Yuan stood up, gently grasped Chen Na's soft wrist and said, "Come on, Nana, let's head to the second floor for some training." As if by magic, his cup was suddenly refilled. Chen Na blinked in confusion. Huh? Training for what? Shen Yuan smirked. You'll find out once we're up there. A few moments later, on the second floor, Shen Yuan sat Chen Na on the table, gently holding her soft chin. He smirked and said, "Your skills could use some extra training." Chen Na whispered to him, "Not here. Xiaoqiu is still around." Shen Yuan chuckled. Saying "not here" to a man only makes him go faster. As he pulled down her black thong, Chen Na suddenly moaned in pleasure. Shen Yuan inhaled the scent of her neck and murmured, downstairs while cleaning the tables. Xiaoqiu heard strange noises. She frowned in confusion. Huh? What's going on? Then she heard Chen Na's breathy voice. Aha! Huff Xiaoqiu's eyes widened. Boss! Without hesitation, she hurried to the door and flipped the sign to closed. Suddenly, Lu Menglu came running back, her chest bouncing with each step. Xiaoqiu, why'd you close the shop? Open the door, I left my bag inside, she called out. Xiaoqiu, still flustered, stammered, Huh? Lu Menglu knocked on the door impatiently. What's taking you so long? Open up. Xiaoqiu broke into a nervous sweat, her face turning red. She hesitated for a moment before finally removing the closed sign. Oh, she muttered awkwardly. Inside, Chen Na moaned again, her voice filled with pleasure. Shen Yuan, gentler Lu Menglu, about to step inside, suddenly turned around in shock. Her gaze darted toward the second floor. She muttered to herself, broad daylight. And they're doing this? 10 minutes later, Lu Menglu crossed her arms, still waiting. This is so weird. He looks so lean, yet he's got so much strength, she murmured, tapping her foot as she patiently waited for Shen Yuan and Chen Na to finish. Lu Menglu licked her soft lips and said, Shen Yuan, you're really something. She suddenly shouted, Xiaoqiu, I'm heading out. See you next time. On the second floor, Chen Na trembled in pleasure as she held on for dear life, hugging Shen Yuan tightly while blushing. Her knees trembled even more. She thought to herself, I'm dead. She totally walked in on that scene. Shen Yuan smirked and thought, a proper training session needs an audience after all. Lu Menglu must have been listening in for at least 10 minutes downstairs. A premium show like this shouldn't be free. Gotta charge next time. In another scene, at the office of Secretary Lu, he asked Counselor Li Xiao, You're saying this student, Shen Yuan, wants to invest in the startup incubator? Counselor Li Xiao nodded. Yes, Secretary. Secretary Lu frowned. Does he even have the funds? Have you verified his assets? Counselor Li Xiao hesitated before replying, At first, I didn't believe it either, but I checked his bank account. He has 10 million. Secretary Lu was shocked. How much? 10 million? Are you sure that money isn't from his parents? Does he have full control over it? Counselor Li Xiao confirmed, It's his. He can use it freely. Secretary Lu's expression changed. That's excellent. In that case, we don't need to collaborate with third-party companies anymore. Have Shen Yuan come to my office. I want to hear his proposal directly. Counselor Li Xiao hesitated. Secretary, although Shen Yuan is a student, if we want him as an investor, shouldn't we treat him a bit more respectfully? Secretary Lu smirked. No need. Just do as I say. As he grinned, he thought to himself, He's a student from our school. I can't let him get too full of himself. He needs to be put in his place. Meanwhile, on the second floor, as Shen Yuan and Chen Na were still caught up in their activities, Shen Yuan's phone rang. He glanced at it and said, It's a call from Professor Li. One moment. Chen Na's breath grew hotter as she blushed, her entire body trembling. Shen Yuan answered the phone. Professor Li, what's up? Counselor Li Xiao spoke on the other end, and Shen Yuan replied, I see. He thought to himself, the school's attitude toward investors isn't right. They're trying to control me. Even if I compromise now, what's stopping them from pushing their luck again later? Shen Yuan then said, Professor Li, put me on speaker. I'll have a word with Secretary Lu. Counselor Li Xiao placed the phone on speaker. Hello, Secretary Lu, can you hear me? Shen Yuan said coolly. I'm quite busy lately, with several investment projects to evaluate. Let's set up a meeting when I have time. Professor Li will give you my number. Secretary Lu was stunned and stood up abruptly. Hey, wait a minute. Counselor Li Xiao blushed and thought to herself, he hung up on the secretary? Damn, this guy's got guts. At the office of Secretary Lu, he stood up sweating and angry while looking at the phone of Counselor Li Xiao. He said to himself, hang up on me? Every student leader who sees me bows and greets me with the utmost respect. And you? You just have a bit of money, that's all. Forget it. This project is urgent and there has been no progress for a while. Secretary Kong will definitely hold someone accountable. He sat down and said to Counselor Li Xiao, Miss Li, since Shen Yuan has the capacity to invest, why don't we invite him out for a meal? Counselor Li Xiao replied, Sure, I'll send him a message on WeChat now. At the coffee shop, Shen Yuan said to himself, Want to invite me to dinner? The negotiation balance is in my favor now. I must gain full control over the investment. Let's keep Lu Zhaojiang hanging for a bit. Meanwhile, Chen Na, exhausted, blushed and sweated as she sat on Shen Yuan's lap. She then stood up, adjusted her underwear and said, Shen Yuan, if you're busy, go ahead and take care of your things. We can have dinner another time. As Chen Na walked away, Shen Yuan watched her and thought to himself, Nana really takes care of me in every way. She's such a good woman. Suddenly, Shen Yuan's phone rang. He answered it and said, Hui Min? Fang Minhui replied, Shen Yuan, what are you doing? Do you have time to go for a walk on the track? Shen Yuan said, Just a walk? I thought you were inviting me for a cold drink. Fang Minhui hesitated and said, I can't. It's that time of the month. Shen Yuan thought to himself, no wonder Hui Hui hasn't come to see me these past couple of days. So that's why. Fang Minhui blushed and said, But if you really want to, I guess it's not impossible. Shen Yuan stood up, picked up his pants and said, Your health is more important. Don't say things like that again, Hui Hui. I'll come pick you up downstairs at the dorm. A few moments later, at Fang Minhui's dorm, Fang Minhui suddenly ran towards Shen Yuan and hugged him tightly, pressing her soft chest against him. Shen Yuan said, Be careful over the next few days, okay? I don't mind waiting a little longer. Take care of yourself. Fang Minhui kissed Shen Yuan's cheek and said, Shen Yuan, you're so sweet, let me ask you, what exactly is our relationship? As her affection rating towards Shen Yuan reached 91, Fang Minhui thought to herself, I have to ask this today. We've done everything a couple could do. What girl doesn't want a proper title? Shen Yuan stared at her and thought to himself, this is a dangerous question. But Hui Min's affection for me just went up again. She really does like me. He then said, of course, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Fang Minhui, overjoyed, said, really? Shen Yuan hugged her tightly and said, really? Fang Minhui pressed her soft white cheek against his and asked, Shen Yuan, I'm your only girlfriend, right? Shen Yuan looked at her with one eye open and said, He thought to himself, the others aren't called girlfriends. They're sweeties, babies, babes, darlings. As he smirked like a villain, Fang Minhui said, since you're being so good, I'll give you a proper reward in a couple of days. Shen Yuan chuckled and said, silly girl, I'll take you shopping this weekend. Want a car or a house? Fang Minhui was shocked, her eyes widening as she stammered, You're going to buy me a house or a car? That's too expensive. A bag or some makeup is already great. Shen Yuan replied, no need to save me money. But since you're still in school every day, you won't really need a car now. Let's get you a house first, and when you need a car later, I'll buy you one. Sound good? Fang Minhui, held close by Shen Yuan, nodded and said, I'll listen to you. Shen Yuan said, it's getting late. I'll walk you back to your dorm. Make sure you rest more during your period. As he walked, he thought to himself, tomorrow, I need to go to Qingzhou Lake to take possession of the house. A few moments later, at a stoplight, Shen Yuan stopped and took out his phone. On a video call, Lu Menglu said, Skinny boy, are you up yet? Come hit the gym if you're free, as she leaned toward the camera, showing off her firm chest. Shen Yuan smirked and said, since when have I ever been skinny? Is this video of yours even appropriate? Lu Menglu pouted and said, only naughty men think this is inappropriate. Admit it, did you have dirty thoughts? She thought to herself, that tone. He definitely doesn't treat me like an outsider. Here, let's see how much longer you can hold out. Suddenly, Zhou Wanting approached her and said, Coach Lu Menglu turned and said, Miss Zhou, you're here. Zhou Wanting said, what are you smiling so happily about so early in the morning? Lu Menglu replied, nothing really. Just chatting with a friend. Thought it was funny. As they sat down, Zhou Wanting said, come on, tell me. We still have time before class starts. Lu Menglu smirked and said, a good girlfriend of mine landed a sugar daddy. He's super generous. Bought her a 3 million yuan apartment. Zhou Wanting's jaw dropped, and she started sweating as she exclaimed in shock, 3 million? Just like that? He must be worth tens of millions. Lu Menglu sighed and said, yeah, I'm so envious. Zhou Wanting imagined an old, rich, bald man with a cigar and a golden credit card, and asked, with that kind of wealth, the sugar daddy must be really old, right? She then thought to herself, even if he's old, it's still worth it. Hu Jun, that stingy jerk, wants to sleep with me but won't spend a dime. Time to find a better man. Lu Menglu shook her head and said, nope, he's in his early 20s. Younger than my friend, actually. Zhou Wanting's eyes widened as she asked, then, how does he look? He must be ugly, right? Lu Menglu chuckled and said, he's handsome and tall, too. Zhou Wanting said, Coach Lu, your friend must be a real beauty to catch a guy like that. Lu Menglu thought of Chen Na standing beside her, both showing off their sexy bodies, and said, we're about the same. Just different strengths, that's all. Zhou Wanting nodded and said, if she's anything like you, no wonder the guy fell head over heels. Just then, Shen Yuan sent a message on WeChat. Enough gossip. I'm heading to Qingzhou Lake to take possession of the house. Lu Menglu quickly replied, going alone? Want your little sis to come with you? Shen Yuan responded, I'm going alone. But if you're free, feel free to join me. Lu Menglu grinned and typed, then you'd better come pick me up. I'm at the gym right now. Just sent you my location, waiting for you. As Lu Menglu blushed while reading Shen Yuan's messages, Zhou Wanting noticed and asked, Coach Lu, what's up? You look even happier than earlier. Lu Menglu stood up and said, sorry, Miss Zhou, I have to skip our session today. I'll refund your personal training fee at double the rate, because the sugar daddy I just mentioned, he's going to Qingzhou Lake to pick up the house and ask me to go with him. Sorry. Zhou Wanting was stunned as she imagined Chen Na and Lu Menglu together with the mysterious rich man. She thought to herself, Qingzhou Lake? That's one of the top 10 luxury residential areas, a famous rich neighborhood. Wait a minute, Wasn't the sugar daddy supposed to be her friends? Why is she the one going with him to collect the keys? I get it now. No wonder she's Coach Lou. Ruthless, stealing her best friend's man. But honestly, if I met a guy like that, I probably wouldn't hesitate either. Fitness coach Han Lihai called out, Menglu, where are you going? Don't you have class soon? Liu Menglu ignored him and walked past without a word. 10 minutes later, fitness coach Han Lihai and Zhou Wanting stood by the window, looking outside as Liu Menglu stood in front of the car that had just arrived. Han Lihai muttered in disbelief, driving an M9 and still managed to get Menglu? Even that guy with the G-Wagon couldn't pull it off last time. Zhou Wanting scoffed and said, don't be fooled by the car. He bought his girlfriend a 3 million yuan house without blinking. Han Lihai was shocked. 3 million? How many years would it take me to earn that much? Zhou Wanting squinted and looked closer. Then, her eyes widened in surprise. Wait a sec. This guy looks kind of familiar. Just then, the car door opened and out stepped Shen Yuan. Zhou Wanting gasped in shock and confusion. Shen Yuan? She started sweating, her jaw dropping as she stammered. It's really Shen Yuan. Her mind raced as she thought to herself, the tall, rich, handsome guy Coach Lou was talking about. Turns out it's Shen Yuan. My ex-boyfriend is now a multimillionaire, and I dumped him just 2 weeks ago? As a chill ran down her spine, she stood frozen in place. Zhou Wanting, in shock and disbelief, said to herself, Ti and I actually used up a chance to be with him instead of Bao Jun. Was I out of my mind? Fitness coach Han Lihai, confused, said, Miss Min. Min. Why are you mad? Zhou Wanting took out her phone and read a message from her sugar daddy, Old Man Jun. He said, I've got some information. Zhou Wanting said to herself, who do you think you are? You always try to skip the formalities and get straight to the point. Do I look that cheap to you? Old Man Jun said, Hey, you're off today, right? Come to my place tonight. Zhou Wanting said, Screw you, idiot. Old Man Jun, confused, said, Huh? Is this really you? Zhou Wanting said, Oh no, your mom. Old Man Jun said, What the? Suddenly, Zhou Wanting blocked Old Man Jun from messaging her. Her phone displayed, message sent but rejected by the receiver. Old Man Jun said, Tish, hey, what's wrong with you? Sweating in shock and confusion in his office, he muttered, What the hell? She blocked me. What the heck just happened? Zhou Wanting walked away and said to herself, So I wonder if I still have a shot with Shen Yuan. Stayed up late, trained like hell, and now he turns out to be that good. I'll try to calm myself down. Coach Lou, the girls from the university, and her bestie. If I join in too, would that be too much? In a different scene, Liu Menglu said to Shen Yuan while sitting in his car, Shen Yuan, your car is huge. I'm so jealous. With a car like this, you could totally go off-road camping. She played with her seatbelt, struggling to adjust it over her ample chest, and thought to herself, off-road camping. A hot girl with curves is sitting in your passenger seat. No way your mind isn't going places. Shen Yuan said, off-road sounds nice. We'll try it somewhere next time. Liu Menglu said, Oh, you really don't play by the rules. Shen Yuan asked, Oh, what does that mean? Liu Menglu thought for a moment and said, Shen Yuan smirked and said, How about I say it like this? Coach Liu, I want to play ball. Liu Menglu pounded his arm playfully and said, You're such a tease. 30 minutes later, they arrived and got out of the car. Shen Yuan approached Guan Shufang and said, Hello, I'm here to finalize the house contract. I'm Shen Yuan. The real estate agent, Guan Shufang, replied, Hello, Mr. Shen. I'm your real estate agent, Guan Shufang. Would you like to see the house first or review the contract? Shen Yuan said, I'll just sign the contract directly. We'll view the house after that. Guan Shufang nodded. All right. After the contract was signed, they drove off. Sitting in the back seat, Guan Shufang broke into a nervous sweat as she glanced at Liu Menglu, thinking to herself, Mr. Shen and this lady clearly don't look like a couple. But that woman's figure, it's kind of unfair. Why is the difference between women so huge? Women like her don't even need skills. Just their looks and curves are enough to make men fall head over heels and willingly buy them houses. I'm so envious. Too bad ordinary girls like us don't get those chances. Sigh. They arrived at the mansion and got out of the car. Liu Menglu, in awe, said, Wow, Shen Yuan, this place is gorgeous. As they walked towards the mansion, she thought to herself, the life of rich people is like a dream. If only I could live here too. That's why I've got to lock Shen Yuan down. Guan Shufang said, But Mr. Shen, the villa's area is 610 square meters, but including the garden and facilities. It can reach 2,000 square meters. It's still bare, so you can freely design and decorate it. Lu Menglu, talking about other things, said, "It's really huge." Shen Yuan. System notification. Congratulations to the host for acquiring your first home. System notification. A perfect life requires not just property, but uniquely styled interior decoration. System notification. The host will receive 20 million in exclusive renovation funds. Shen Yuan muttered to himself, "System, are you serious? Spending 20 million just to renovate a house worth a little over 10 million? He sighed. "Since you're the one saying it, I guess I have no choice but to obey." Shen Yuan looked back at Guan Shufang and asked, "Miss Guan, do you know any good renovation companies?" Guan Shufang replied, "Yes, Mr. Shen. There are several top renovation companies in Star City with great reputations. I'll send you their contact info later." Shen Yuan said, "'Tis not much to see in a bare-bones house anyway." "That's enough." Lu Menglu asked, "Shen Yuan, can I record a video and post it on QuickSound?" Shen Yuan replied, "Sure, just don't show my face." Lu Menglu teased, "And a guy like you, I'll bet other influencers will be posting edited pics of you online." Shen Yuan asked, "How many followers do you have on QuickSound?" Lu Menglu said, "Na little over 50,000. Shen Yuan asked, "And do you have a lot of local fans?" Lu Menglu replied, "Well, most of them are local. What, you trying to sneak a peek at my videos, Mr. Wu?" They got in the car, and Shen Yuan said, "If 50,000 other men have already seen it, what difference does it make if I do?" Lu Menglu smirked. "You're not like them. They only get to see the regular version. You, on the other hand, get the premium custom edition." Shen Yuan said, "Send me your QuickSound account later. I've got a bar review video coming up. If you want in, you can try filming with me." Lu Menglu's eyes lit up. "Really? You have a review channel too? I'll send it to you right away." Shen Yuan asked, "Coach Liu, do we head back to the gym now?" Lu Menglu crossed her arms. "Where else would I go? Got something in mind?" Shen Yuan grinned. "I thought we were going to go play ball." Lu Menglu scoffed. "Keep dreaming. You men are all the same. Yesterday, in that kind of place, you dared to hit on my bestie, and you're still trying to act all smug with me." Suddenly, Shen Yuan slammed the brakes. Lu Menglu gasped as the force pressed her against the seat, the seatbelt squeezing her firm chest. Shen Yuan turned to her and said, "You dare bring up yesterday? I haven't even done anything to you yet. Since you care so much about her, why don't you take her place?" Lu Menglu smirked. "Foolish." She thought to herself, if a woman gives herself up too quickly, she comes off as cheap and men won't treasure her. The harder Shen Yuan finds it to get me, the more he'll want me and the more he'll invest. That's why I'm stringing him along, giving a little taste each day. So after he works so hard to get me, he'll treasure me and submit completely. A few moments later, Lu Menglu got out of the car and waved. "Bye Yi, Shen Yuan drop by the gym sometime." Shen Yuan chuckled. "Bye Coach Lu. Let's shoot hoops sometime." A few moments later, Lu Menglu pushed open the gym door. The gym manager, Huang Mingbo, approached her. "Menglu, what's going on? I heard you skipped your private client session this morning. You do realize that's a violation of contract." Lu Menglu sighed. I had something personal to take care of last minute, and I informed Miss Zhou. I told her she'd be refunded double for the session." Huang Mingbo crossed his arms. She may have agreed to refund Miss Zhou double, but she still lodged a formal complaint. "Anyway, I've handled it for you already." Lu Menglu frowned and thought to herself, why did Miss Zhou suddenly come after me? I guess Huang Mingbo's got something on me now. First, he scolds me as the manager, then switches to a wise guy tone acting like he's advising me. Think that's enough to win me over? What a joke. The kind of man who can conquer me sure ain't your type. She turned away and said, "Thanks, Manager Huang. If there's nothing else, I'll get back to work." Huang Mingbo checked his watch. "It's almost noon. What work? If you've got no sessions, let's eat together." Lu Menglu smiled politely. "Sorry, I brought my own lunch and I don't consume things with too much exposure." She thought to herself, "I'm a coach inside and out, doing even the boss's job, and you think you can pressure me?" As she walked away, a sly smile crossed her lips. She imagined herself with Shen Yuan on the balcony of his mansion, wrapped up in something steamy and intense. With newfound confidence, she strutted off and muttered under her breath, I'm a woman headed for the show's luxury mansion. Like hell I'm letting trash get in my way." School committee secretary Kong Zongping said the advisor asked, "What reason does this student named Shen Yuan have to be directly admitted to?" "The entrepreneurship base?" Secretary Lu replied. "Yes, School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping continued. Sis is the homeroom teacher. Have you interacted with him? Secretary Lu replied, Not yet. I have asked him to send over the application materials, but he has not responded so far. School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, And since we are processing this, we need to get all the details about him straight. We cannot just rush into any decision. Secretary Lu agreed. When you are right, Secretary Kong. We must avoid carelessness. So, how about I reach out to him in advance? School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, Oh no, we still should not act rashly and alert him. This afternoon we will have a preliminary meeting and we want to bring the teacher along. Secretary Lu said, Secretary, you are going in person? That is a much bigger deal than me and the academic dean showing up 5 o'clock in the evening, boys' dormitory. Lao Huang showed his phone to Shen Yuan and said, Per third brother, I have been chatting with Tian Yuping on WeChat for a long time. Help me estimate, how much longer before I can win her over? The message thread read as follows, Lao Huang, good morning. Want me to bring you breakfast? Shan Yuping, no. Lao Huang, it is raining today. Remember to bring an umbrella to class, and in Tian Yuping to Tokay. Lao Wang, Chu, good night. Do not set the dormitory air conditioner too low. Make sure to cover up. Menxian Yuping, Tin Yupei, K, Lao Huang, where do you want to go this weekend? How about Yuelu Mountain? Jian Yuping Fin, we will see then. Lao Huang, Sen, you did not eat much today. Are you not feeling well? Want me to get you some medicine? Shen Tian Yuping, no. Shen Yuan, sweating while reading the messages, said to himself, older brother really is super persistent. Over 3 years and not even a bit of progress. Lao Huang said, third brother, what do you think? She replies to every single message now, totally different from before when she never did. This is a qualitative leap. I can feel the progress bar steadily moving forward. Shen Yuan handed back Lao Huang's phone and said to himself, older brother, if that is how you really see it, then what else can I say? As long as you are happy. Shen Yuan said, Sen, you should just ask Lao Cao to tutor you. Lao Huang looked at Lao Cao and said, Lao Cao is a total newbie. What does he know? Third brother, you are the most experienced one in our dormitory. Lao Cao said, older brother, I did not offend you today. Did I? Lao Huang replied. At the very least, she is replying to my messages and even agreed to go out this weekend. Does that not show she is warming up to me again? Say something, third brother. Shen Yuan said, yeah, definitely. Lao Huang exclaimed, darn. If even third brother says so, then it is definitely happening. Nice, Shen Yuan, still sweating, said to himself, darn, those higher-ups are seriously terrifying. Then from outside, School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, Ho is darn. Why are you yelling so loud? Lao Huang scratched his bottom and walked toward the door. He opened it and said, She? Secretary Kong, Secretary Lu, Counselor, why are you all here? Counselor Li Xiao said, Is Shen Yuan here? Lao Huang answered, Yes, he is. Please, all 3 of you, come in. And he said to himself, darn, all 3 of them are here for third brother. Did he break some heavenly law or what? A boy outside said, So why are 2 school officials in the dormitory? What is going on? His friend replied, when they are here to see Shen Yuan. His family is bankrupt, but he is still buying a car and dating someone off campus. You tell me, is he probably doing something illegal? Li Zhanpeng said, For sure. Otherwise, how would Shen Yuan have so much money? Definitely a big issue, his friend asked. Tongpeng brother. What exactly is going on? Do you know? Tell us more, Li Zhanpeng said. And the source of Shen Yuan's money is not clean, so it is normal for the leaders to come. They are probably just holding him until the police show up. Lao Huang whispered to Li Zhanpeng. When Li Zhanpeng, you silly goose. Stop talking nonsense, Li Zhanpeng whispered back. Whether I am talking nonsense or not, just wait and see. Inside, Counselor Li Xiao said, Shen Yuan, these 2 are Secretary Kong and Secretary Lu from the student committee. Shen Yuan stood up and said, Hello, Secretary Kong. School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, I'm from the Shen Yuan. I am Kong Zongping from the committee. Do you have time tonight to join us for a meal? Shen Yuan said. Tonight? Sure. School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, Great. I will book the restaurant right now. It is getting late anyway. Let us go together and talk properly about the entrepreneurship base. And so, Secretary Kong Zongping and the others left with Shen Yuan. As Li Zhanpeng's friend commented, looking at those three, it does not seem like they are here to investigate Shen Yuan. It is more like they are welcoming a visiting official for an exchange of experience. Li Zhanpeng said, "See, I bet they are just saving face for Shen Yuan. You have seen the news. When they arrest someone important, they still cover their heads with a black hood." Lao Huang said, "Let us just say he is a deep cover agent. 2 secretaries came to invite our third brother for dinner. Bet you did not see that coming," Li Zhanpeng's friend replied. "Huh? 2 secretaries inviting Shen Yuan for dinner? That is some serious influence." Lao Huang said, "Yeah, Shen Yuan must have done something huge if the school's leaders are all lowering themselves to ask him out." And Li Zhanpeng's friend said, "Shen Yuan is terrifying. He is no longer on the same level as us." A few moments later, at Nanjing Restaurant School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, "Shen Yuan, go ahead and talk about your plan and requirements. I want to fully understand what you are aiming for." Shen Yuan said, "Secretary Kong, for me to invest, my conditions must be met. Of course, this will not result in any loss for the school." School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, "And no need to hold back. Speak freely." Shen Yuan said, "Secretary, I want full autonomy. That means I decide who receives investment and how much, and the school cannot interfere in those decisions." Secretary Lu said, What did you say?" "That is not how it works." School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, "Onlu, calm down." He turned to Shen Yuan and said, "University entrepreneurship bases involve many sides, especially with the Education Bureau involved. Even if all the funds come from investors, it is still tricky. Former principals always had to consider the student success rate from these programs." Shen Yuan replied, "Secretary, without funding, talk of success rates is just empty words. You can consider me the base's actual person in charge. Success rate depends on whether the supported students can make money, and since I am investing the money, of course I want them to be successful. Our goals are actually the same." As Shen Yuan smelled his expensive wine, he thought to himself, "I am speaking from the heart. The system's mission is to help me build up new industries and reputation, then slowly turn me into a business tycoon. In the future, I will definitely need lots of professionals to manage this massive industrial matrix. Rather than hiring outsiders later, why not use this base now to train my own core team? What is even more important is that the system's missions require a large number of female non-playable characters. The women out in society are nowhere near as easy to manage as college girls. And the quality of girls at our school? It is famously the best in all of Star City." School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping said, "As for your request, I will have to get back to you after I have had a seminar with the Education Bureau leaders." Shen Yuan replied, "Oh right, Secretary." With clinking glasses and flowing wine, the dinner finally ended late into the night. Outside, as School Committee Secretary Kong Zongping got into the car, he said, "Oh, Miss Li, Shen Yuan has been drinking and cannot drive. You take them back. We will head back first." A few moments later, Counselor Li Xiao said to Shen Yuan, "Shen Yuan, your new car is super spacious." Shen Yuan said, "Say got tired of driving sedans, so this time I wanted to try a sport utility vehicle." As Counselor Li Xiao fastened her seatbelt, she suddenly answered a call and said, "What is up, Li Meng? You had to switch shifts and cannot help with moving." "And it is fine. I have already arranged for a mover." Do not worry. I have got something to do now. Talk later." Shen Yuan asked, "Chancellor, are you moving?" Counselor Li Xiao replied, "Yes, I am moving in a couple of days. The lease on my last place is up, and this new one is something my guardian and I are renting." Shen Yuan offered, "Want me to help you move?" Counselor Li Xiao said, that is not ideal. You just got a new car. Helping me move does not really feel right." Shen Yuan said, "It is no big deal. A car is just a tool. Something for moving things. If it makes students feel cool, that is great too." Counselor Li Xiao said, "Do not trouble yourself. We still have a lot of separate things to buy." Shen Yuan insisted, "Come on, Counselor. Stop trying to dodge it. I am your student. Helping you move is no big deal." Counselor Li Xiao blushed and said, "Well, then," and she thought to herself, Shen Yuan's face was on the lean side with sharp features. If you set aside his identity as a student and look from the perspective of the opposite sex, he was actually kind of handsome. Wait, he hinted at it like that, offered to help me move, and that means He really is interested in me. It even fits the earlier signs. That bag, he said before, it was a high-quality knockoff, but judging by his actual financial situation, it must have been genuine. Counselor Li Xiao said, Shen Yuan, do you remember the bag you gave me before? Shen Yuan said, well, yes, I remember. What about it? Counselor Li Xiao said, you said it was a replica last time. It was actually genuine. But it does not matter, since you are a student who is not short on money now, giving a gift to a teacher you like. Shen Yuan said, Musa, no, what I meant was, it was a respectful gift for a teacher. What about the bag? Counselor Li Xiao thought to herself, as expected, but it is not appropriate. First, I am older than him, and second, we are teacher and student. Counselor Li Xiao said, Shen Yuan. Shen Yuan replied, Shh, it is fine now. Drive, counselor. No need to say things like, I refuse. Either way, I am not giving up. A few moments later, they got out of the car and Counselor Li Xiao asked, So are you sleeping at home tonight? Shen Yuan said, Well, no, there is no room for me upstairs. I am heading back to the dormitory. Counselor Li Xiao said, Well, then I will park the car here. You can come pick it up tomorrow. Here are the keys. Shen Yuan, with smooth confidence, took the keys and gently kissed Counselor Li Xiao on her soft, fair cheek and said, All right. As Counselor Li Xiao stood caught off guard, Counselor Li Xiao said to herself in shock while holding her soft cheeks, His is getting bolder and bolder. Last time at home during dinner, once in the office, and now you even dare to kiss me directly. This rascal. She then ran toward her building, her chest lightly bouncing as she called out, Shen Yuan, you are a bad student. Suddenly, Chen Na called and said, Shen Yuan, are you at school? Miss Lin Yucheng left something at the cafe. Are you able to open the door for her? She's almost there, but Xiaoqiu and I live far away and cannot make it in time. Shen Yuan replied, All right, sure. A few moments later, Lin Yucheng arrived and said, I'm sorry, Shen Yuan. I left some of my child's toys at the cafe and forgot to take them last time. Shen Yuan opened the door and said, Oh, it's okay, no problem. And they went inside as Shen Yuan opens the light touching the column. Lin Yucheng picked up a bag and said, These are all toys my child dropped when he came here to play. They're scattered all over the place. Shen Yuan glanced at Lin Yucheng from behind as she crouched down and said, No rush. You can search slowly. How old is your child? 3 years old. He is quite cheeky, she replied, as she discreetly took a bottle of wine from Shen Yuan's stock. Shen Yuan thought to himself, There's wine too? Could it be that Lin Yucheng often drinks alone in the cafe? Lin Yucheng looked away and said, All right, I've taken everything. Shen Yuan asked, What's wrong? Can't bear to part with it? It's not that I can't bear to part with it, Lin Yucheng replied. It's just that I think of the days and nights it accompanied me. Shen Yuan thought to himself, suddenly feeling emotional upon seeing the scene. This must have something to do with Zheng Xianyong. If it weren't for the sadness in her heart, she wouldn't be alone in a cafe, drinking to drown her sorrows. He said, Inch, you can come back often to have a look, since Shai might not come back anymore, Lin Yucheng responded. Miss Lin, if you don't mind, could I have a couple of drinks with you? Shen Yuan asked. Is this appropriate? She hesitated. There's nothing inappropriate, he said calmly. As they sat down, Shen Yuan poured her a glass of wine and asked, Feeling down? I guess it has something to do with family? Xin, how did you know? She asked. Essentially, I know your husband, Zheng Xinyong. He is the general manager of the 4S store, right? He said, as he poured himself a glass of wine. I've heard a little about what he did. Chen Na was his employee before, and she resigned because of your husband. Could it be that Miss Chen, Lin Yucheng asked cautiously. May did not, Shen Yuan replied. Zheng Xianyong just harassed her frequently, and she left because she could not stand it anymore. Kun, she said. Otherwise, he would have committed more serious wrongdoing. Then she sniffed the wine in her glass and added, Actually, I was planning to divorce him recently. I had collected a lot of evidence of his cheating and read many chat records in which he threatened and bribed his subordinates. Grabbing her head, she continued, When we have been married for 5 years, I didn't expect him to be this kind of person. But I'm hesitant because he is my child's father. I am worried that my child will grow up in a single-parent family and develop psychological problems. Shen Yuan responded, And when it's time to cut ties, it's important to do so. Children are certainly important, but letting them face this situation for a long time will cause greater harm. Therefore, whether for yourself or for the child, you must make the right decision. And what you said does make sense, Lin Yuchang said softly. Then, to herself, Sai used to think he was young and generous. Now it seems that he is much more mature than I imagined. He even exudes a unique charm. These are things that Zheng Xianyong does not have. There's an old saying, you can't judge a man by his appearance, but being with a good-looking man can at least make you feel a lot better. Blushing, Lin Yuchang said, "Thank you, Shen Yuan." Shen Yuan replied, no problem." Lin Yuchang stood up and said, "Oh, let's go." "Tinch, okay, all right," Shen Yuan said as he stood up as well. Suddenly, Lin Yuchang lost her balance and fell toward Shen Yuan. He caught her and said, "Oh, be careful." Looking closely at him with flushed cheeks, she said, "I'm sorry." Shen Yuan thought to himself, "Why is Miss Lin apologizing? Her body smells so pleasant." Suddenly, he was caught off guard as Lin Yuchang kissed his cheek. Shen Yuan was stunned. The tables had turned from the earlier incident with Counselor Li Xiao. Then Lin Yuchang rushed out. Shen Yuan thought to himself, "Huh? What does this kiss count as? Just is not enough. We should have gone one full round." And in a few moments later, outside, Lin Yuchang said to herself, "This must be because of the wine. For so many years I have adhered strictly to the duties of a wife without overstepping my bounds. The only thing that was a bit out of line was fulfilling my own needs, and that must be blamed on Zheng Xianyong for being a useless coward. But just now I surprisingly felt a sense of satisfaction. What on earth is that?" Shen Yuan, drunk, called Chen Na and said, "Hello, Nana. Our dormitory is closed and I can't go back, so I'll sleep at your place tonight." "Get a room outside?" she asked. "No need to waste money." "Relax, I just want to hug you. I won't do anything tonight." 20 minutes later, Chen Na opened the door, wearing a small nightgown that gently revealed her soft figure. "Oh my, how much did you drink?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. Shen Yuan, staring at her, replied, "Senate school leaders' dinner gathering. I didn't have a choice." Chen Na helped him inside and said, "You sit down for 10 minutes, then take a shower. I'll brew you some sobering tea." Shen Yuan hugged her tightly and said, "Wait, hug first." So, hug first. As his hands lingered, Chen Na said, "This is your idea of just a hug?" "And I'm just hugging, not doing anything else. Nana, you know my character?" She said to herself, recalling the past few days. "The first time, I convinced myself he just came up to drink water. The second time, I called it training. This time, the excuse is even more ridiculous. Just hugging." Chen Na muttered, "Oh, it's your character. Do you even have any left?" Later, in the bedroom, Shen Yuan said, "Oh, Nana, don't we have trust between each other anymore?" "Oh, then you said it yourself. Just hugging," she replied. "So you can use that quilt. We'll sleep in the same bed but under different blankets." Shen Yuan thought to himself, "Although I was hesitant the first 2 times, I thought Nana had already accepted me. But she's still holding back." Still, there are many ways to handle a long night. As Chen Na hid under her quilt, Shen Yuan suddenly sneezed. "Achoo! That's so cold, Nana." She turned around and asked, "What's wrong, Shen Yuan?" "Oh, the air conditioning is too cold," he mumbled. "I'll adjust it," she offered. Shen Yuan gently grabbed her arm and said, "Oh, need to do that." He slipped into her blanket and added, "It'll be all right if we share one quilt." Chen Na called his name softly. "Shen Yuan." He leaned closer and said with a smile, "See, it's not cold anymore." The next morning, Shen Yuan saw a note from Chen Na and read aloud, "Ain't I'm heading to the cafe. I've washed your clothes. They're not dry yet, so I bought you a new set. Breakfast is in the steamer. If it's cold when you wake up, just heat it up." Shen Yuan thought to himself, "Good grief! Where else can I find such a good woman? I have to reward her. I need to set aside some time to buy her a car." Suddenly, Lu Menglu called. Her camera flashed on, showing her toned figure and confident smile. "Skinny dog, when will you come to the gym? I'm still waiting for you," she teased. Shen Yuan, breaking into a nervous sweat, thought to himself, playing these tricks early in the morning. She's Nana's best friend. Don't look. He quickly moved the phone camera away. "Why did you move your phone so far away?" Lu Menglu asked playfully. Hey, why? Are you afraid I'll eat you up?" Shen Yuan peeked back at her and thought, "Fudge, this bold woman is blatantly trying to seduce me." Shen Yuan received another call and said, "A call from the counselor." Shen Yuan said to Lu Menglu, "I have something important to do now. I will talk to you later." Lu Menglu said, "All right, do your work first." Hey, and she showed off her cleavage in the video call. Shen Yuan ended the call and spoke to Counselor Li Xiao, saying, "What is up, Counselor?" Counselor Li Xiao said, "Your request has been approved by the school leadership and the education committee. They will draft the document and start the promotion in the next couple of days. Once the school receives the application forms and project proposals submitted by the entrepreneurial students, they will send them to you for evaluation and review." Shen Yuan said, "Will the application form include height, weight, and a personal photo?" Counselor Li Xiao said, Do I have to fill in this information? What does entrepreneurial intention have to do with height and weight?" Shen Yuan said, "Of course it does. A qualified entrepreneur needs to have a good physique and appearance. I can judge whether this student is disciplined based on their looks. I have high standards." Counselor Li Xiao said, "Really? There is such a saying?" And she said to herself, "Something seems off." Counselor Li Xiao continued, "All right, I will add what you said. Secretary Liu has arranged for the student cadres of the Youth League Committee to meet with you later." Shen Yuan got off the bed and said, "Okay, then I have no problem on my side for now." Counselor Li Xiao said, "All right. By the way, Chen Yuan, my sister and I are moving tomorrow morning. Are you free?" She blushed. Shen Yuan said, "Of course I am free. See you tomorrow morning." Half an hour later, after having breakfast, Shen Yuan looked at his phone as it was ringing. Shen Yuan said, "Lu Menglu, why is this woman calling again?" He took his phone and answered, saying, "What are you doing? Did you not say you would come to see me in a little while? It has been more than half an hour and you are still not done. Why do I not believe that? I am busy and about to go out. I have an appointment with 2 renovation companies to discuss the design plan of the villa." Lu Menglu said, "So, do you need a little burden to bring along?" Shen Yuan said, "You said so yourself that you are a burden. Why should I take you with me? But if you really want to go, we can go together." He said to himself, Lu Menglu may have been a bit aloof, but she really knows how to provide emotional value. Having a beautiful girl supporting you when discussing plans actually has a better effect. Lu Menglu squeezed her cleavage and said, "All right, then you need to come pick me up. I will be waiting for you at the gym." Shen Yuan said, "Okay." And then a few moments later, Shen Yuan arrived at the gym, and a Mr. Fan said to Shen Yuan, "Are you also waiting for someone, brother?" Let me guess, waiting for a woman, right?" Shen Yuan said, "Yes, that is right." Mr. Fan said, "Your car is not bad, but it is fine for chasing after regular girls. It is not enough for high-quality ones. To win over a goddess-level girl, you need to drive mine. You have got to work hard, young man." Shen Yuan said, "I see," as the man's Chinese-made G-Wagon sparkled. A few moments later, Lu Menglu came out, glowing with beauty. Mr. Fan blushed and said, "Menglu, you are finally off work. I have been waiting for you for half a day. Let us go eat. What do you want?" Lu Menglu said, "Mr. Fan, I am sorry. I have plans with a friend. I just sent you a message about it." She said to herself, Mr. Fan is indeed very wealthy, but all of that comes from his parents. The money he can actually use is very limited. But Shen Yuan is different, so he can only settle for the second position. Mr. Fan said, "It is okay. I can go with you. I will treat you to lunch if your friends do not mind," as she walked toward Shen Yuan. Shen Yuan opened the door for Lu Menglu and said, "I do mind. I am sorry, brother. I do not like eating with people who drive a G-class." As Lu Menglu sat inside Shen Yuan's car, she said, "Let us go, Shen Yuan." Mr. Fan's face looked defeated. Shen Yuan said, "Excuse me." Mr. Fan said to himself, Menglu got into this kid's car? What is going on? A woman whom I could not win over even with a G-class was impressed by a guy driving an M9? A few moments later, Lu Menglu said, "Mr. Fan is a senior member of our store and has recharged a lot of money. His family is quite wealthy and the car costs more than 2 million yuan. Shen Yuan said, "Oh, and then?" Lu Menglu said, "He pursued me for a long time, but I never gave him an answer." Shen Yuan said, "Oh." As Shen Yuan's tone lacked interest, Lu Menglu became angry and said, "Why are you speaking so little today? You are usually not like this." Shen Yuan replied, "What do you want me to say?" Lu Menglu said, "I do not know, but I feel like you are not very engaged today." Shen Yuan thought to himself, "Of course, I understand your thoughts. It is just that you have more than one choice and other suitors, so you want to make me feel a sense of crisis." Lu Menglu looked away, frustrated. Shen Yuan said, "Men are only active when they are exercising or about to exercise. How can I be active if you do not play ball with me?" Lu Menglu blushed and said, "Shen Yuan, you are so bothersome." She grabbed Shen Yuan's shirt in frustration and said, "Are all men as flirty as you?" Shen Yuan said, "This counts as being flirty. I was asking you to play basketball with me. Lu Menglu said, Tisk, forget it. Last time in the cafe, why did you rush upstairs with Nana as soon as I left? You know what you were thinking, and Shen Yuan thought to himself. It seems that Lu Menglu will remember this incident for the rest of her life. Shen Yuan changed the topic and asked, how come you are so free these 2 days that you have time to accompany me? Lu Menglu said, I am not free, I just postponed all the private lessons for you. Shen Yuan said, I feel sorry about it. Lu Menglu said, if you really feel sorry, then just treat me to a few nice meals as compensation. Shen Yuan said, no problem. You can eat the thing on my body. Lu Menglu said, what are you talking about? Shen Yuan, you are just taking advantage of others. Shen Yuan said, all right, I will not tease you anymore. Let us eat first, and then we will go to the renovation company. A few moments later in the afternoon, the chief designer, Fu Zhengmei, said, hello, Mr. Shen. I am Fu Zhengmei, the chief designer at Guanting. Let us sit down and chat. She shook Shen Yuan's hand. Shen Yuan said, let us make this brief. I mentioned all the requirements online yesterday, and I am here today to take a look at the proposals. They all sat down and Fu Zhengmei said, based on your budget and needs, we have provided designs in 3 styles, European, light luxury, and modern Chinese. You can see which one you like, and we can make adjustments if there are any issues. Lu Menglu said, wow, all 3 proposals are quite good. Shen Yuan, what is your budget? Shen Yuan said, 20 million. Lu Menglu was shocked and said, what did you say? Her eyes widened as she thought to herself, a villa worth more than 10 million yuan, and 20 million yuan to renovate it. If 30 million yuan is spent like this, then his net worth must be at least in the hundreds of millions. It seems I underestimated his strength. No, those previous methods were not enough. I need to intensify my efforts. She pulled her blouse down to show more cleavage and adjusted her shirt to reveal more of her thighs. But then 15 minutes later, Shen Yuan stood up and said, let us go with the modern Chinese style. Add what I just mentioned, and we can discuss it further once the adjustments are done. However, I have also scheduled an appointment with another renovation company. I need to compare the final proposals from both of you before I can make a decision. Fu Zhengmei said, no problem. Comparing 3 options is wise. By the way, Mr. Shen, do you have time tonight? Mr. Wan would like to invite you to dinner. Regardless of whether a deal is made, he wants to be friends with you. Shen Yuan said, I have not placed an order with you yet. Dinner might not be appropriate, right? Fu Zhengmei said, Mr. Shen, do not feel burdened. Mr. Wan simply wants to befriend you. Shen Yuan said, okay. Fu Zhengmei said, then I will add you on WeChat and send you the restaurant location. This way we can communicate about the plans better. Shen Yuan said, all right, we will take our leave now. Fu Zhengmei thought to herself, 20 million for the renovation, more expensive than that villa. This single deal could sustain a company. Such a wealthy client is not just an ordinary rich kid. We really need to take good care of him. She was starstruck. A few moments later, Fu Zhengmei spoke to Mr. Wan. Mr. Wan, Mr. Shen has already agreed to dinner tonight. The general manager of Guanting, Wan Renmin, said, if we can have dinner together, the chances of closing the deal will be greater. We cannot let this kind of client go elsewhere. Is he coming alone? Fu Zhengmei said, no, he brought a woman who does not look like his girlfriend. Wan Renmin replied, as long as she is not a girlfriend, it is fine. Remember to invite Miss Su Shui-wei to tonight's social gathering. A client like Mr. Shen deserves our company's best. He daydreamed about Su Shui-wei. Inside Shen Yuan's car, Lu Menglu said, Shen Yuan, is the air conditioning on in the car? It is so hot, as she showed more of her cleavage. Shen Yuan replied, really? Why do I not feel hot? Lu Menglu said, I am not sure, Tio, right? What are we doing after this? Shen Yuan asked, are you not going back to work? Or do you want to join me for dinner? Lu Menglu said, anyway, I am going to follow you around and eat and drink for free. I am going to be your follower for the whole day today. Shen Yuan said, my followers are very disciplined. They have to follow me for at least a day and a night. How can they just follow me during the day? Lu Menglu thought of the naughty things Shen Yuan might want to do with her in bed. She said, 1 day and 1 night? What are you talking about, you big cheeky flirt? I do not care, I am going to follow you. I am not getting out of the car. A few moments later, Lu Menglu called Hu Qiangqian. Hu Qiangqian said, baby Lu, what are you doing? Lu Menglu replied, Qiangqian, I am in the car. Hu Qiangqian asked, whose car is it? Mr. Fan, the one who drives the G-Class. As she buttoned her shirt, she thought to herself, although Mr. Fan may not be as extravagant as Shen Yuan, who buys 3 million yuan houses at a time, helping Menglu buy a bag or cosmetics should not be a problem. Lu Menglu said, "No, I am in Shen Yuan's car." Hu Changqian was shocked. "Who, Shen Yuan? What the fudge? When did you two get involved?" Feeling confident, Lu Menglu said, "No, today I accompanied him to look at the renovation plans. You know, he bought a villa for over 10 million yuan and is going to spend another 20 million on renovations." Ho Changqian broke into a sweat and exclaimed, "What? That is too extravagant. He just spent 3 million and is now spending another 30 million. She thought to herself, Shen Na was so lucky to meet such a big gold mine. The three of us agreed to be poor together, but she ended up getting ashore first. No, it seems that Menglu is also going to board this luxury cruise ship. As Lu Menglu and Chen Na walked ahead of her in life, Ho Changqian cried and thought, one of my best friends is doing well, but now the other one wants to do better than me. Is it because both of them have bigger busts than me? That evening at Nanjing restaurant, Lin Guangyao said, Uncle Wan, you are also having dinner here? Wan Renmin said, Xiao Yao, what a coincidence. I am waiting for a client here. Lin Guangyao said, I have a dinner party here. I will be back to toast with you later. He thought to himself, it seems that this customer is very important. Otherwise, Uncle Wan would not have to wait here in person. As he looked back, he saw Su Shuiwei blushing. He thought, when did Uncle Wan have such a beautiful girl around him? If only Uncle Wan were not my in-law, she seems like a good girl, but I cannot even ask for her contact information. A few moments later, Fu Zhengmei said, Mr. Wan, this is Mr. Shen. Wan Renmin said, Hello, Mr. Shen. You are indeed a young and promising person. As Shen Yuan and Liu Menglu got out of the car, Shen Yuan said, Hello, Mr. Wan. He shook hands with Wan Renmin. Wan Renmin asked, Is this your girlfriend? Shen Yuan replied, Do not get me wrong, we are just ordinary friends. She just happened to accompany me here today. Her surname is Liu. Lu Menglu began to sweat. Wan Renmin said, Hello, Miss Liu. Lu Menglu responded, Hello, Mr. Wan. She thought to herself, Stupid Shen Yuan. Why is he getting flustered just to say I am not his girlfriend? Hateful. Wan Renmin said, Mr. Shen, let us go upstairs. Shen Yuan replied, This way, Mr. Wan. A few moments later, Wan Renmin said, Mr. Shen, I forgot to introduce you. This is our company's design assistant, Su Shuiwei. Su Shuiwei said, Hello, Mr. Shen. Shen Yuan shook her soft, delicate hand and said, Hello. He thought to himself, her skin is soft and tender, and these jade-like hands are as delicate as if they have no bones. Especially this purity untouched by the world. Su Shuiwei's temperament is completely different from all the girls I know, Wan Renmin thought to himself. Very good. It seems that Su Shuiwei has made a good impression on Mr. Shen. Now it will be even easier to get closer. He raised his glass of wine. Wan Renmin said, Mr. Shen, today we will not talk about business. Let's focus on making friends. Let me toast to you first. Fu Zhongmei leaned in and whispered to Su Shuiwei, What are you spacing out for? Toast to Mr. Shen. Su Shuiwei stood up with her glass and said, Mr. Shen, a toast to you. Shen Yuan replied, All right. Lu Menglu glanced at Shen Yuan, raising her glass, feeling a little bit jealous. She said, Mr. Shen, why do we not have a drink together? Shen Yuan replied, You had better stop drinking, otherwise who will drive later? He put down his glass. Lu Menglu blushed and said, Okay, I will listen to you. She thought to herself, Hee, I do not know if Shen Yuan is just teasing me again, but this feeling of we are together is really nice. Su Shuiwei said, Mr. Shen, a toast to you again. Her cheeks were flushed. Shen Yuan responded, You can have tea. I have no issues with that. Su Shuiwei hesitated. Wan Renmin chimed in, Listen to Mr. Shen. He feels sorry that you cannot drink. Yue is from South China University. She is a senior and has not yet graduated. You young people have similar interests and hobbies, so you should talk more. Just add Mr. Shen on WeChat. It never hurts to make friends with a young talent like him. Lu Menglu thought to herself, the old fox finally showed his tail. He said he would not talk about business, but in fact, he is laying the groundwork for business everywhere. The little girl is obviously still innocent. Forcing her to entertain someone is no different from pushing her forward against her will. Suddenly, Lin Guangyao entered and said, Uncle Wan, I am here to make a toast to you. Wan Renmin smiled and said, Xiao Yao, you are sincere. He stood up and added, This is my nephew, Lin Guangyao, and this is Mr. Shen. Actually, he is about your age. You can go toast him and get to know him. Lin Guangyao said, Okay. He thought to himself, Uncle Wan introduced the distinguished guest to me, which shows that he thinks highly of me. And anyone who can make Uncle Wan wait personally must be someone important. This kind of person might not be helpful in daily life, but he is perfect for bragging at drinking parties. He turned to Shen Yuan and said, "Hello, Shen." Then he thought, "Shen Yuan? What the fudge is this guy doing here?" Shen Yuan said, "Come, let us toast." Sweating, Lin Guangyao thought, "Why is Shen Yuan the guest of honor for Uncle Wan? When Uncle Wan asked me to toast him, was that not the same as asking me to lick Shen Yuan's stinky feet? Impossible. Absolutely impossible." Wan Renmin asked, "Mr. Shen, Xiao Yao, do you two know each other?" Shen Yuan replied, "Sort of." Wan Renmin patted Lin Guangyao's shoulder and laughed. "What a coincidence." "Xiao Yao, you probably do not know, but your friend bought a villa in Green City Qingzhou Lake and plans to spend 20 million yuan with our company on renovations." Lin Guangyao broke into a sweat and stammered, "Huh? What are you talking about?" He thought, "This guy bought a villa and is spending 20 million yuan on renovations? How did Shen Yuan get rich so fast? Is his family mining diamonds in Africa? Uncle Wan, whom I tried so hard to please, is trying hard to please Shen Yuan. In such a short time, how has the gap between Shen Yuan and me become so big? Never mind. I will just flatter him. Whoever Uncle Wan wants to flatter, it is no big deal for me to do the same." Lin Guangyao turned to Shen Yuan and said, "Shen Yuan, what a coincidence. Congratulations." "Oh, that is not right. I should call you Mr. Shen now, ha ha ha." 3 hours later, Wan Renmin said, "Mr. Shen, next, do you want to go to the bar or sing karaoke?" Shen Yuan looked at Lu Menglu and asked, "Trainer Lu, do you want to go?" Liu Menglu started to sweat and said, she thought, "I have this figure thanks to self-discipline. I have never had the habit of staying up late or drinking in my life." Shen Yuan noticed her nervousness and said, "You had better not go. Going to bed early and waking up early keeps you healthy." Lu Menglu thought to herself, "But if I do not go, Shen Yuan might be seduced away by other charming girls. If more girls are around to share the spoils, I will get less attention." She looked at Su Shui and continued thinking, "After all, once I am not by Shen Yuan's side, knowing Mr. Wan's character, his next step is to get Shen Yuan drunk and then send Su Shui and Shen Yuan to a hotel." And it was obvious at dinner that Shen Yuan had taken a liking to Su Shui. Under the influence of alcohol, Shen Yuan definitely will not be able to control himself. She imagined Shen Yuan and Su Shui together in a hotel bed. In her fantasy, Su Shui blushed and said in a soft, hesitant voice, "Mr. Shen, please don't." Shen Yuan replied, "Shui, I will take responsibility for you." As Su Shui looked away, she whispered, "Mr. Shen," feeling the shortest ride of her life. Lu Menglu snapped back to reality, sweating. "This should not happen. If they really get to that point, I will not have any fun." She immediately stood up from her chair, raised her hand sharply and said, "I will go. I have to go." At a karaoke bar, Shen Yuan was brought over by manager Wan for a few hours. As Su Shui raised her glass and said to herself, preparing to offer a toast, Shen Yuan looked at her and said, "There's no need. We've all had loads to drink this evening." He put down her glass and continued, "You don't come to places like this often, right? You shouldn't come if you're not feeling comfortable. It's just work after all." Su Shui said, "Thank you, Mr. Shen." Shen Yuan, sensing Su Shui's helplessness, said, "It's not easy for a girl from an ordinary family to get an internship in a big company like Guanting. It's probably not easy to let go like this." Lu Menglu said, "Mr. Shen Yuan, why aren't you bothered about whether I show up or not?" Shen Yuan replied, "Does Coach Lu require my care? There are so many fish in the sea." That Mr. Fan with the G-Wagon. He's probably sent you a WeChat message again. Lu Menglu said, "Tis. Why are you bringing up things that are irrelevant?" She fixed her hair and muttered to herself, "All my conventional methods are just ineffective attacks. Shen Yuan doesn't care at all. I wanted to put him in my trap, but it seems like I was the one trapped instead." Su Shui said, "Mr. Shen, what song would you like to sing? I'll help put it in the queue if you'd like." Shen Yuan said, "Anything's fine. You can pick whatever you'd like." Lu Menglu whispered to Shen Yuan, "Shen Yuan, you're doing something that's not right. The little sister's gaze makes it look like she's stressing out of her mind." Shen Yuan replied, "Is that so? I feel like your gaze is very much the same, quite stressed out." Lu Menglu said, "Not at all. My gaze is only filled with desire, not affection." Shen Yuan said, "This is your advantage. No matter which woman attracts a particular man, the result tends to be the same." Lu Menglu said, "And what would that result be?" Shen Yuan replied, rolling around under the bedsheets. Lu Menglu blushed and said, "You?" Her heart rate increased to 68. She muttered to herself, "This is making me upset. This man always talks me into a corner. But Shen Yuan is at least honest, unlike some other men who lust after sex, only to disguise it as love. She then whispered to Shen Yuan, "Ah, that's enough. There are people nearby." Shen Yuan grabbed Lu Menglu's firm thighs, and just then, Wan Renmin suddenly handed the mic to Shen Yuan and said, "Mr. Shen, Shui has ordered a good song for you. Come sing." The singing continued at the karaoke bar until 11 o'clock. A few moments later, outside, Wan Renmin said to Shen Yuan, "Mr. Shen, Brother Shen, I never thought that I'd be able to make good friends with you at my age. We need to arrange more meetups in the future. By the way, when it comes to renovation, Guanting is definitely your most professional option. I hope we can cooperate with each other. As your older brother, I will help arrange services accordingly from Guanting for you." Shen Yuan replied, "All in all, I have only looked at 2 companies. Your designs are both professional and very competitively priced. I will definitely be considering you first." Fu Zhengmei said, "Mr. Shen, we will be heading back now. See you soon." As she helped Su Shuiwei, Shen Yuan asked, "What about her?" Fu Zhengmei replied, "Shuiwei is my apprentice. I will get her home safely." As Su Shuiwei was drunk, Shen Yuan said to Lu Menglu, "Should I help you hail a cab?" Lu Menglu said, "What about you?" Shen Yuan said, "I am just going to get a room here and rest for the evening." Lu Menglu said, "Why get a room here? Do you not have somewhere better to sleep?" Shen Yuan said, "Are you going to take me in instead?" As Lu Menglu blushed and was silent, she said to herself, "I did not plan to give myself up so easily, but my intuition tells me that if I do not take action now, Shen Yuan, this piece of monk meat, is going to be carved up and sold." She then grabbed Shen Yuan's arm and pressed it against her huge, firm chest and said, "Do not even think about it. I am not going to bring a man home easily. I am a prim and proper girl." As her heart rating towards Shen Yuan was at 75. Shen Yuan said, "Is that so?" Shen Yuan said to himself, "I have not done much this evening, so why has Lu Menglu become so favorable towards me?" Shen Yuan said, "Where do you stay? Let me help hail you a cab." Lu Menglu said, "I do not want to go back." Shen Yuan said, "You do not want to go back? Where are you going to sleep?" Lu Menglu said, "You are so mean. What do you think? I have taken so much initiative, and you are still treating me like this." Shen Yuan holds her head and said, "Let's go. We can pick out a different hotel." As Lu Menglu opened the door of the cab, a few moments later inside the car, Lu Menglu said to herself, "I wonder if Shen Yuan will be gentle. I hope he will not be as aggressive as he was with Nana at the cafe." As she was nervous, the driver looked at the rearview mirror as he said to himself, "That body, her looks, her massive headlights. Fudge, having money must be great." A few moments later, at Star City's most luxurious hotel, the Grand Hyatt, Shen Yuan said to the receptionist, "I want an executive suite, and I want it booked for an entire month." The receptionist said, "Certainly, sir. The executive suite is 3,688 per night, which comes out to 110,640 per month." Lu Menglu, confused, said, "You want it for a month?" Shen Yuan said, "It is only 110,000 a month. Put it on my card. I want the first room on the 52nd floor." As he handed over his card, he said to himself, "Lu Menglu's favorability towards me is over 60. Triple cashback is involved too, so this is a massive profit." Lu Menglu, looking at the card in shock, said to herself, "First room of the 52nd floor. He seems so well acquainted here." A few moments later, at the executive suite on the 52nd floor, Lu Menglu looked outside the window like a little girl and said, "The view here is beautiful. Come take a look, Shen Yuan." And she said to herself, "This situation, it feels like I am betraying Nana, but I sincerely hope that Shen Yuan and I will have a good start." As she leaned against the glass, looking at the view outside, Shen Yuan suddenly grabbed her headlights from behind and said, "Coach Lu, you are the only one in my eyes. Can we start practicing already?" Lu Menglu said, "Shen Yuan, I have not showered yet. Let me freshen up and then," Shen Yuan said, "shower later." As Shen Yuan played with her, Lu Menglu said, "Shen Yuan, the curtains." Shen Yuan said, "This is one-way glass, and we are on the 52nd floor. There are no taller buildings than this one around. Even if someone sees, what is wrong with putting on a show?" As Lu Menglu felt something inside her, Lu Menglu trembled in pleasure immediately and said, "You are so mean." As she trembled more, pressing her firm body against the glass. As they went to the bathroom sink, Lu Menglu continued to tremble in pleasure. Then in the morning, Shen Yuan looked at his phone and said to himself, "It is so darn hot. I slept all the way until midday." And he looked at Lu Menglu, sleeping peacefully beside him, and said to himself, "I did not expect Lu Menglu to have such a sensitive body. I was worried that she would end up dehydrated last night. Shen Yuan played with her firm thighs. Lu Menglu opened her eyes and said, Shen Yuan, you are so eager to start early. We only slept at 4. Do you not care for me at all? As she was crying without tears. And she said to herself, it seems I have got to focus more on some key areas in my training. How can a fitness coach like me be taken down by a thin stack like him? Shen Yuan said, Lu Menglu, of course I care about you. Normally I continue until the sun comes up, but I held back just for you. Lu Menglu said, you are so strong. Let me sleep a bit longer. I will give you more when I get a bit more energy. Also, do not call me Lulu. I do not want to end up the same way as Nana. Shen Yuan touched her firm cheeks and said, all right, Coach Lu. Since you behaved so well yesterday, I will allow you to sleep a bit longer. When you wake up, we can go out to buy you a car. I will cover anything within 3 million. Lu Menglu sat up in shock as she said, huh? What did you say? Shen Yuan? Say that again? As she opened her mouth wide. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.